Hello there. Well, tonight is a special night. We've gotten to the finale, the big finale of season 2 of Babylon 5 with a great episode, The Fall of Night. And this, at the time, was a biggie. Back when we used to watch shows season by season, and then there would be a number of months off before the next season. And, a lot of series would have their cliffhangers. This one had a big, I don't know if it was so much of a cliffhanger so much as, of course, you were anticipating plenty of story to come. But they went out with a bang on this season, although there could have been some sadness for some folks there. But anyway, I'm waffling on here. Well, that's because, I'm waiting for Brown to really finally wind down. Oh, there it is. They're over. So welcome, Mr. Brown Alliance, all you folks, to our Babylon 5 party, our Sunday night thing. Tonight we are doing The Fall of Night. And so we all, if you don't remember, or if you've never seen, you're going to get a bit of a reveal tonight. Kosh is going to show himself, but then again, is it really a reveal? You'll see what I mean in a bit as we cover the episode. But in any case, without further ado, let me get some more people up here so I'm not just so much of a pain in the butt. Let me see if this lady is awake here. Let's see. This is the lady that'll be showing your chats on stream. Please welcome Liza Sahido of the Psyche Electroacoustic Opera Company.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. It's not so much about, I forgot what words you used before. It's about multitasking.
Oh, yeah. I know. You got to maximize your work time. Get your stuff in while you can. I know how it is.
It wouldn't be such an issue if YouTube was being more reasonable with the way it awards watch time.
Yeah. Oh, well, folks, YouTube is always a journey, and they always like to throw monkey wrenches at you.
Flavius. Ex-Flavius.
Yeah, welcome, Flav. Yes.
Let me remind you about the poll, Lawrence. The poll.
Oh, I'm going to do the poll. We still have a guest to introduce, and of course, one of our first ones.
Yes.
Ex-Flavius X is here.
This man commands a quack legion. They wax as high as any in Rome.
A high-wanking individual he is. And we do have, all the way from Glastonbury, we have Sir Colin. Welcome, sir. How are you?
I was asleep, but Liza's introduction woke me up as usual.
Oh, you dozed off. Oh, no.
No,
I see the Mr. Brown emojis in the chat. Thanks a lot. At Will's Otters.
Yeah, there was... It's funny, I was watching the episode earlier on today, and there was something that I thought happened at the end of the episode, which didn't. So I now realize it must actually happen at the start of season 3, because there's one thing, a reaction to something that I thought had happened. Am I? Hold on. I'm not sure I can turn my mic down. Somebody just said I'm quite loud.
You sound fine to me.
Oh, okay.
But
volume coming in okay here too. Yeah.
Right? Maybe I was just getting excited.
Yeah, you're on par with the rest of us as far as I hear.
Maybe he meant the intro. Sir Colin's intro is kind of.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to blame Harold Shore for that. But it was a climactic moment in that battle there.
Thanks, Alonso. One of these days, I'm going to have to try to find the other clip that I thought I was going to give you from an early TV series, which actually might be particularly appropriate from Wednesday onwards. As an intro, as my intro, but I'll see if I can dig it up for you. But yeah, as I said, there was something I thought happened at the very end that obviously must start at the very beginning of season 3.
All right.
And there was something in this I forgot was in this episode as well, right at the start. So,
okay. Well, as they come up, please point those out for us.
yeah.
I'm starting a poll because next week we could either start right into season 3 or we could do something a little special. Liza and I were talking about it. But I want to make sure it's all right with our audience first. And we got to see either we start season 3 or next week we can make some Yorkshire pudding live here. Now, because there's time where you have to wait for it to cook and hopefully rise, we could do during that time just some various Babylon 5 stuff, maybe some trivia, maybe some role-playing game stuff. I mean, not that we actually play one of these games, but, Colin, you told me you found a couple. We could talk about those. We could talk about all sorts of Babylon 5 stuff while making Yorkshire pudding. And so we have those as 2 options. And I think those are our main 2 options, unless someone wants to add a third.
But we're going to have to do some homework for that.
Yeah. Well, I usually have to do homework and making slides.
Having had a hard Sunday's role-playing in other games.
Well,
I'm kidding. No, there are some really interesting stuff out there.
Yeah, I exceeded the max number of characters in that. So here we go. So we're going to put that poll up and see what happens. If people really don't want us to stretch out trying that stuff, then they can vote no. I think I put the poll up. Does anybody see the poll? Yeah, I see it there. Yeah. All right, good. That worked. So let me get our
one Yorkshire pudding stew coming right up. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it's gonna.
Gavin said that.
If Gavin, I am not a good cook, so it might come out like a stew. Oh yes.
Well, I've looked up a number of approaches to doing it.
Oh.
I think we'll go with, of course, the Gordon Ramsay approach, but the simplest of them. I don't know that we're going to make, like, he does things where, of course, the gravy comes from a roast or something, and so I don't think we're going to do both, are we?
Well, you can't make Yorkshire pudding without making a proper gravy, so we have to figure that out as well.
We could probably record ourselves doing that.
Respectfully, I would say that's not necessarily the case, because Yorkshire pudding you can have dry-ish as well. But yeah, I mean,
but Colin,
we'll do another poll. We'll do dry or wet, and we'll find out. No,
it's fine. I mean, especially. I mean, if you're having it with a dinner as part of it, you have gravy, or you might have something in it, which is you can literally have a big pudding, and you can literally have a stew in it. It's just that you can also have it as a sweet
stew in it.
Yeah, well, only if you go to Yorkshire pudding is come in 2 types. Size, really. You've got the little individual ones, which are about the size of a couple of inches across.
Yeah, kind of like this.
It takes just 15 minutes for our Yorkshire puds to puff themselves up and turn a delicious golden brown.
That looks amazing.
Those are our little miniature puds.
Or the other ones that I've seen that you have are large ones, which are 5 or 6 inches across. Either it's a bigger version, one of those ones, or a squarish one, and you can literally put stuff in them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and that's when you said last week, I think you said if you put a sausage in it, it's a toad in the hole.
Oh, yeah. If you put a sausage in the batter when it's cooking, so the sausage is literally in the batter, buried in the batter, and it's a toad in the hole. Yeah.
I want to address Flav's comment here because I'm not sure what scorching hot means. You see, Lawrence and I own a broken oven. So there are only two ways.
So it's right twice a day.
I don't know. I wish it were right.
No, it
I
doesn't get
wish it
hot
were
enough
right
anymore.
So who knows what's wrong with the oven? But we only have two ways of making this Yorkshire pudding. One, in our air fryer. Two, in the pizza oven outside. It's a wood-burning oven. What do you suggest, Flav?
I was going to think the wood-burning oven, because then we could have a bonfire and be filming the bonfire and outdoor cooking. Of course, it is outdoors here in Florida even this time of year at night, it is stuffy, so it'll be humid and there'll be mosquitoes.
The one time I remember the time I was in Florida, the only way I could tell it was night was because it got dark. Does a wood burning oven actually impart a sort of smoked and woody flavor to the food, or does it not affect the flavor?
Well, it does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, one advantage of being up here in North Florida on our homestead, Colin, is that we have an abundance of oak. So if we use the wood burning oven, it will take on a barbecue kind of flavor because oak imparts that classic bar. So I mean, I would be happy with the oak. I know it's not gonna be a traditional Yorkshire pudding, but yeah, it'll be an interesting York. It'll be our version of
before regular ovens. And I remember what was his name, Alton Brown, another TV chef guy, did it, and his Yorkshire pudding. He showed images of like in the olden days, where basically they're burning wood in ovens.
I just wondered if because obviously if you're in a gas or an electric oven, the oven is going to be completely. It just gets the heat, so there's nothing there to impart flavour.
Yeah.
Whereas I know that wood, that burning with wood can impart flavour.
But
that's
we're
true.
Also thinking is we need to do something that's entertaining for our folks watching.
That's
they're
what
not
I
going to be
was.
able to eat it.
Yeah.
They're just going to be there watching, and so
what's
going to be entertaining? Probably us outside.
Liza
could play her cigar box guitar. I could play some sort of instrument, and then of course do some Babylon 5. I don't know, top trivia.
Babylon. Lawrence, put together another poll and ask the audience what would be more entertaining: making the Yorkshire pudding properly in a controlled environment with our air fryer, or outside with our pizza oven with some wood next to a campfire, but having to deal with the Florida night, mosquitoes and other bugs flying around, and other critters maybe approaching our campsite. What would be more entertaining?
So
I know what they're gonna say.
Not so much toe in the hole as mosquito in the hole.
Mosquito. Today I did an impromptu live stream outside, and I think I swallowed a. It was a bug. I think it was a mosquito, but that I swallowed.
I'm flossing, but
it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Well, it's up there. If there's anyone really wants to do it inside in the air fryer, it's an option. I know it'll probably happen, and then of course some cats may approach and everything.
Some cats may approach. So, I mean, put in the chat, guys. What would be more interesting to you?
Well, I already put the poll up.
Oh, okay. You put the poll up.
But you can still chat in the chat. Are we going to do Babylon 5 at some point? I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. Babylon 5.
Yeah, well, as folks know, what we do here is pretty much talk about just about everything in addition to whatever the main subject is. Oh, man. So, Colin, did you see this when, back when season 2 aired, I guess? Like, did you see this on broadcast? Colin.
Mr. Brown, would butter work?
Oh, sorry.
Did you, Colin, are you at like a really big delay, or are you?
No, sorry, I was looking at something else while I was listening to you.
Oh, yes.
I was going to say,
So
yes.
did you
yeah,
see
I
this
mean,
when it first aired, basically?
Yes. Yeah.
Very
Interestingly, it just occurred to me that I don't know if there's any connection whatsoever, but the title of this episode, there is a short novel by Arthur C. Clarke
Mhm.
called, excuse me, called Against the Fall of Night. And
Against the fall of night.
yeah, the premise of the story is that there's this planet. No, Nightfall. Nightfall's on. I'm thinking of, and the premise of one of it is this is this planet, and it's got 6 or 7 suns or something, and because of the orbit, the planet is never in the darkness apart from one period every several hundred or thousand years, and it's about the panic that happens when they know they're going to go into night, and I think that was called Against the. It's either Nightfall or Against the Fall. I know Against the Fall of Night is an Arthur C. Clarke, so I just wondered if Straczynski got the inspiration for the title from that.
6 or 7 suns, but I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm
But
not sure how.
still,
I'm
they
not sure
would be
how-
like in a central location in the solar system, and the planets would be orbiting them.
I mean,
so-
but this was written in the. Oh Lord! I mean, Arthur C. Clarke died a while ago now. I mean, it's quite an early one, so 50s or 60s, perhaps even earlier than that. When
Is
our
that when
knowledge
the
of-
sun revolved around the Earth? I don't know.
but I'm just thinking, in as much as even if you watch some of the early stuff that we watched, our scientific understanding has changed even since then. So it may be that the idea that our scientific understanding of how solar systems work has changed. That it
Well,
doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
maybe they weren't all in the center. It was like,
Yeah, or maybe
I don't know
maybe,
how it worked. Maybe it was like some sort of multiple suns far enough apart that the planets could do like a do-si-do sort of square dance thing around them. Well, and anyway, did you arrive at your point yet, or?
Yes, I did see this when it first came out.
All right, good. So did Roy Dotrice. In fact, he was in it.
He did. Well, okay, interesting. This is one of the things I said. I had to look up a marriage date for this one because he is the father-in-law of one technomage, and I thought he might therefore be the grandfather of another technomage, but no. The second technomage is the product of a first marriage, and he's father-in-law of a second marriage.
Okay. Well, can you unpack that, but briefly?
Yeah, his daughter, one of his daughters is Michelle Dotrice. If I don't know if you guys have seen, some others do have them.
So it's Dotrice.
It's Dotrice, yeah.
Okay.
Some others do have them. His daughter played Betty in that. More to the point, she is married or was married. She was the second wife of one Eeyore Woo Woo. He's Edward Woodward's father-in-law.
Right. So
And in fact, Edward Woodward passed away before Roy
she
Dotrice
would have been like stepmother.
Yeah, basically. So, but
To
Peter
Peter
Woodward is
Yeah,
his mother was
Galen
Edward
from
Woodward's,
Crusade.
his mother was Edward Woodward's first wife. Michelle Dotrice. He married Michelle Dotrice long after Peter was born.
Okay. So she was stepmother for a time, and then what about, you said one technomage?
Yeah,
there's like 2 technomages involved.
yeah. One technomage was Edward Woodward.
Uh-huh.
Was the
Peter Woodward.
No. Edward Woodward was a technomage. You remember the
Oh.
episode? You remember the episode where they're on that planet with the technomage, where it creates a dragon and the rest of it, and everyone's getting too reliant on him.
Which series was that?
In
Crusade, right?
Crusade, yeah. You remember the
Okay.
episode? You remember the episode where they go down to this planet and there's a technomage there,
okay.
right? That
All right.
technomage is Edward Woodward.
Wow, man. I even watched that series. I didn't notice. I
Yeah,
guess it was a hard watch.
The technomage that's trying to defend the miners, etc. That's Edward Woodward.
2 technomages there.
Yeah, playing against his son.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's some good trivia there. Julie Donald, unfortunately, she just, why do I say unfortunately? She could be watching, you never know. I mean, but yeah, among these other great guest stars, and there's like 6 in this episode alone, or 5. She's like, she doesn't get a name, unfortunately. She's just pilot number 1. And then we have, Rick Hamilton. What a name. Great name there. May not be real, but we never know. It gets to play Mitch, who's just another pilot, but he's a pilot with a name. And then we have in here Robin Sachs, the great Robin Sachs, who also gets to play Narn on one occasion or other. No?
No, Robin Sachs also plays excuse me. Also plays excuse me a second, cough.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, guitar's playing up all of a sudden. Robin Sachs also plays, is it Headron? One of the Jesus.
Oh my God. Well, here's the thing. Liza and I thought for the longest time the same guy that plays the Mr. Miles from Nightwatch, we thought was also the same actor that played Narn. But apparently we were wrong, I think, the first time I mentioned it on air. Not the only time I've been wrong on air, but that did happen once. What?
But Narn is John Vickery.
John Vickery, yeah. So that is.
Yeah.
So I was right. Last night I made myself wrong when I was doing the slides because I was like, I was wrong about this before. And it turns out, no, I was right, and so was Liza. Everyone's right except for me last night being paranoid. I was like, it must be this Robin Sachs guy.
Yeah, and that same character, the same character reappears in Crusade.
Yes, I know. Assisting an interior designer.
Yeah. So Robin Sachs was also a Minbari in 2 or 3 episodes.
Hedron.
With Delenn, Hedron.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's also plays that role in the movie in the beginning.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so Robin Sachs, a regular guest star on Babylon 5, multiple characters, and same thing with John Vickery, who is, in fact, Narn. I'm sorry, man. Come here for us to work stuff out. That's what you're here for, folks. But Wells, I thought it was Mr. Miles, and in fact, in the description, I call him Mr. Miles. So that's something I'm going to have to fix later. All right, but anyway, Mr. Wells from Nightwatch. Next. All right, so how does this episode begin? And it begins with this lady. Here she is. Donald. What's her name? Julie Donald? It's Julie with an I think. Yeah, Julie with an I, Donald, playing this pilot 1. She's doing maneuvers and practicing out there because Sheridan has the Star Fury squadrons practicing and basically preparing because they see things heating up. The Centauri defeated the Narn and basically crushed them, and they're expanding, being aggressive and everything. So Sheridan's doing what you would properly do in the space station like this as well. We need to protect ourselves if we just don't want to become part of the Centauri Republic. And so they're doing maneuvers, practicing, and especially for Centauri fighters. And so that in some of the maneuvering that's being done, we get to see some great outdoor shots. And basically, it's something where they're trying to deal with some maneuvers where races like the the Centauri would put themselves into positions where basically they'd even pass out doing some of these hard maneuvers with these G-forces. And they would even do that to get an advantage in firing position. And he's like, basically the explanations are things that you should do, shouldn't do. And it's like, basically try and escape the line of fire before you get into something where you might pass out. And
again,
yes, Colin.
Another example. So I keep muting myself and this cough gets back.
Yeah.
Another example of where they're actually using good physics, because they're taking fighter combat, dogfighting, but they're taking it into the larger 3D area of space.
Right. Right.
So again, they're talking about physics like G forces, because of course you're going to get G forces even if you get G forces, or not actual G forces, but but the effect, it's same effect as G forces.
Laws of motion.
Yeah, if you're going, it'll be inertia.
You're in a ship moving around you,
yeah.
and the atmospheric, the atmosphere that you're in this container is still going to be, dealing with force movements as your ship moves and turns and everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, because the thing is technically it's not G forces that affect you. I think it's inertia, but it's called inertia. But the reason they refer to as G forces, pilots refer to as G forces, is because it affects your effective weight, which under normal circumstances is a product of gravity.
Right. But in this case, it has to do with, your resistance to inertia, which is mass. So your mass still exists in space.
Yep.
And so anyway, all right, everyone. And then basically we're going to skip the explanation there, but basically he's teaching them about, all this stuff, because he was a Star Fury pilot as well. Not only a captain of, first of all, the Agamemnon before Babylon 5, but plenty of experience out in space. So he's a mentor as well as being their captain. And then we have here,
I love this
great moment where Veer and Lanier have a chat, and basically you could see they're both equally troubled as attaches to ambassadors. Yeah, I didn't include the conversation here, but it's a great back and forth, great writing for them. Basically, they realize how much they have in common, because they're saying things like, they don't tell me everything, but I know this is what's happening, that sort of stuff. And then, Veer's saying, and he's changed so much. And then Lanier's like, tell me about it. And he's not talking about Londo. He's talking about Delenn.
Yeah, obviously.
And her physical transformation.
And then you get the last line, the same time tomorrow. Okay. So, as if they do this on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I would love to have seen. I don't think you could have made a series of this, but I think you could perhaps have made a one or maybe two or three below decks type episodes about the workings of about the ambassador or attaché. So with Natoth as well, if the actress was available, would have been an interesting little behind the scenes thing as well,
Yeah, maybe one episode.
Yeah, that's something I don't need any.
You don't need a spin-off, but
does that image there? Does that not look to you like the pose for a buddy comedy?
Yeah.
That could just be the poster for but not a rom-com, not a romantic, a buddy comedy,
Yeah, a buddy comedy. Yes, and it's like, so same time next week.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where they kind of strike this pose, because so someone says, no, that's not same time next week. It's like, and they never listen, and they said it at the same time in unison by accident, and it's like, huh? That's when they realize, yep.
Well, I mean, not only that, but had it not been for this, I kind of almost thought there that they hadn't quite been talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
They'd each been talking to themselves aloud,
Right.
knowing the else, and then suddenly they said exactly the same thing at exactly the same time, and that's when they sort of started really listening to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, actually, at that moment, that's when they're like, same time tomorrow. That's probably why they
Yeah.
started this. They realize how much they have in common, and they're great
Yeah.
venting partners, because
Yeah.
that's what it is. Veer's dealing with Londo and the aggression that the Centauri are involved in right now, and of course, Lanier's dealing with basically this the coming war with the shadows and the what do you call that, the predictions or the omens or the whatever it is, the prophecy. And so dealing with that when you're kind of living in prophecy and you know the darkness is coming, it ain't easy. And he knows that Delenn is at the center of it, and he's her assistant. So after we have that great moment, then we're in the locker room after Star Fury piloting, and that's when Sheridan says, "Well, we got to keep it up. They need more training. They need more training." And Ivanova suggests, "Well, maybe we should use live ammunition. That should
Yeah.
that should inspire commitment, shall we say?" But yeah, another Star Fury locker room scene. Not quite the locker rooms on UFO.
No.
But here we
No
have
one's in spring vests or jumping through
jumping through tubes.
jumping through waste disposal chutes there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we got a Pakmaran, a Drazi here, and they're all feeling like encroached upon. Basically, the Centauri is expanding and going nuts, man. And of course, we have our dear friend. It's Green Leader is now like pretty high up there on Drazi land, whatever it's called. And I love it, the red uniform here. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, that's our favorite actor there. He plays every alien. Most of the time he plays aliens that are just annoying and, really either ignorant or problematic in some way. This time it's just a pissed off ambassador.
Very militaristic looking uniform.
Yeah. Kind of reminded me of the uniform worn by a character in Doctor Who, the old series. It was in the Tom Baker era. Remember the first time, blonde Romana, I forget her name, but that actress before she was Romana played, what is it?
Princess Astra. Yeah.
Astra. I was going to say Princess Astra, but I'm doubting myself so much anymore with Robin Sachs and John Vickery. I'm losing my mind here. But yeah, the episode she was in, the guy that was like a military leader next to her.
Yeah.
This looks kind of like the uniform he had.
Lala Ward, who within the time she was a companion, was lusting after Tom Baker, married to Tom Baker, and fell out with Tom Baker and divorced Tom Baker.
Oh.
All while they were actually, I'm not sure if they actually divorced before she left the series, but they certainly had a definitely whirlwind romance and marriage.
Oh yeah, like was it Jerry Doyle and
Andrew Thompson,
Andrea in this series in Babylon 5.
Yeah.
What was her last name? Andrea Chapman?
Thompson.
Yeah. What is the matter with me? All right. So anyway, here we go. What happens after this? Well, after they leave, these guys are discussing, man, things have really changed. And then Londo Mollari comes in and makes matters worse. He's scolding Sheridan. It's like, I hear you guys are practicing maneuvers. And it's like, that's bad stuff. And it's like, well, what do you expect? Bombing the Narn back into the Stone Age wasn't enough for you. You're expanding on all these other races out here and stuff like that. And it's like, we're trying to stabilize the region. It becomes far more stable when it's just one, you know, one government ruling everybody.
They make a desert and call it stabilized.
You
I'm not.
call it a buffer zone.
It occurred to me later on what Sheridan could have said is, well, we're practicing to find out how the Centauri fight in case we have to fight alongside you, so we understand your fighters.
Oh, well, here's the thing. Who's telling Londo Mollari what they're doing in their Star Fury exercises?
Yeah.
I can tell later, how things leak out because we have Nightwatch there, and all the members of Nightwatch are leaking things to, I wanted to call him Mr. Miles. I got to change that. That bugs me. Mr. Wells. Ugh. John Vickery. Nehruun. Good guy. But anyway, here we go. I kept some of these lines here because it's like classic, like how things get redefined or defined by, Mollari versus how, the other races would see it because of their aggression and everything. The Centauri moving in on their area, their space. And basically, Sheridan's saying it's right. The Centauri are at the center of it all. Little does he know, his own Earth Gov is about to be there too. Can't your people see this? Can't you see this? And for a moment, Peter Jurassic was great because for a moment you see his face and you see that he does a great job of showing that Mollari understands what he's saying and really, you're right, but I can't act like you're right. And then he's like, he gives him this great line that this is not your province. You're the captain of Babylon 5. This is not your area, and don't go outside your area. Otherwise, you'd be having delusions of grandeur, and you wouldn't survive them. So I had to do this as a clip here, because here we have...
Do not start getting delusions of grandeur. You will not survive them.
Where else do we hear things about delusions of grandeur? I think Swappers could tell us.
A Jedi Knight? I'm out of it. For a little while, everybody gets delusions of grandeur.
So I guess Sheridan is a Jedi Knight now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as if Londo would know anything about delusions of grandeur or anything, is it?
No, I guess not. I guess not. Well, maybe it's not a delusion. He really is grand. So Liza is putting up the chats and stuff, and, Flav is still on it. He's on the, what is this? Pepper?
No,
what?
It's a proper Yorkshire pudding recipe. I'm going to click on the link right now and save it. Save the tab.
Oh, so a proper Yorkshireman.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Brown's a proper Yorkshireman, but he's vegan, so I think he'd probably be using chutney instead of gravy, right? Chutney is
he's vegan?
Vegetable based. Yes.
Using lard and beef tallow?
No, no. Maybe not this recipe that Flav's turning on to, but Mr. Brown is a Yorkshireman, but he's also vegan. So
Mr. Brown, I think Mr. Brown's still in the chat. He recommended lard.
Well, yeah, that's what you're supposed to use, but Mr. Brown probably wouldn't do that himself necessarily. Although he does say that, now and then he bends the rules a bit because he does have fish occasionally and stuff. But he's, it's kind of like me. Not me. I do eat meat fairly regularly, but we always do humane meat. Basically, I don't like the idea of many of the meat processing practices that go on and stuff. So we try to do just humane meat, if at all possible. But Mr. Brown's even further than that. He's pretty much vegan except for on occasion, But yeah, lard is what you would use. Maybe you can get vegetable lard. I don't know.
Hey, the Outcast Creative. Welcome.
All
I'm
right,
glad
but
you're
anyway,
enjoying earworms.
thank you for joining us. So, Mr. Garibaldi remarks after Londo leaves, it was like, yeah. He says something that Sheridan was like, what? Because he said something like, yeah, I can tell he's really scared. He's not going to see reason so long as he's this frightened. And Sheridan's like, what? Frightened? The Centauri are being like the aggressors here and just about everything, but Garibaldi fills him in and says, well, no, it's because he's frightened. He may be, lashing out and everything like that, but it's because things are changing so fast, and it's almost like he's on a wild horse, and the only way he knows to deal with being on a wild horse is to grab on even tighter. So in other words, play that role even stronger, because he doesn't see where things are going. It's so uncertain that, he just bears down even harder in what he's doing. Because I guess all those things in your mind that would make you question what you're doing are those things that also can be a distraction. And when the horse is wild, you got to hang on tight or else you fall off. And so I guess Malari would rather hold on tightly, see things through to the end rather than question what he's doing. And so that's what this discussion is about here. But the other races, are scared to death and reacting. All right, but once again, Garibaldi plays the part of someone that has a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience because he's an observer. He observes people and he analyzes them, and it's part of his job as a security chief. But he can impart a lot of knowledge to people that way. And then we're back in the locker room, and here is Julie Donald again, playing pilot number 1. And so she just remarks as she's talking with Keffer here, Warren Keffer, I forget, is he a commander or a lieutenant? I think he's a lieutenant.
I think he's a lieutenant, although I think this squadron leader Gallus was a lieutenant commander because they called him commander.
Oh, okay, yeah, lieutenant commander, yeah.
Yeah, I think, but for some reason, I don't think we ever see Keffer actually. Did we see?
I know he was promoted a few episodes back.
Maybe he's a commander now. Then, yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever. We don't need.
Or lieutenant commander to be more precise. But,
well, he's not going to be with us much longer anyway.
Nah.
But he's talking with her, and she's heard the stories about people seeing something out there in hyperspace, and that got him interested because he's seen things out there in hyperspace, especially when they rescued what's his name, Stinky's Explorer class vessel, and so she kind of clues him in as to who's been seeing this stuff. So he wants to have a talk with them. Basically, he used to go out on these missions trying to find this stuff in hyperspace, which we know from our audience perspective are the shadows, and he's been looking for him, but Sheridan had him stop it by way of Ivanova. Had her order him to stop it because he knows he can't. The Sheridan knows that if the shadows become too convinced that the Earthers or the Minbari or basically these other races that would stand up and oppose them, if they know too much at this point, they would accelerate their plans, and so basically Sheridan had him shut it down. But I don't know, he's not gonna take that order. I mean, he's going to try to work around that. Let's just put it that way. So what do we have here? Oh, I got this because this lady just slapped a guy. She slapped some guy. It's just some passing scene here, and establishing Pan for the scene, and she slaps the guy. They had to put that in. But anyway, after the guy slapping, Mr. Lantz, Mr. Frederick Lantz of the Ministry of Peace has arrived, and right behind him is our friend Mr. Wells, not Mr. Miles. Those of you who've been reading the description have been misled. So anyway, Mr. Miles is from Nightwatch, Mr. Lantz is from the Ministry of Peace, and none of them from the Ministry of Silly Walks, however. So they walk quite naturally. And basically, we know that Lance is there to talk with the not the Minbari. I keep calling them Minbari. Centauri. Jeez, it's like later on when, what's his name? When Garibaldi does that in seasons 5, I mean, there's a reason he's drunk. I'm not. But anyway, so the Centauri, he's there to see them as well as the other races, and Sheridan's assuming, well, they're there because of all the aggression the Centauri are involved in. Earth is going to take sides. Earth's going to do something about this, right? Well, this guy just says preliminary stuff, and it's like, yeah, we gotta, He said, I'm glad that Earth is paying attention to this. It's like, yeah, we're good. We're paying attention to this. We got to do something. But he doesn't exactly tell him what yet. And it's basically all these kind of words. I kept them here because I thought some of these lines, they revealed some of the thinking and why, why they're doing what they're doing. Yeah, we can't stand by forever. Our voice has to be heard. And this is Lance saying that. I don't know why he's saying it that way. You're not going to make your voice be heard by doing a non-aggression treaty with the Centauri. But anyway, that's why, Sheridan thinks that it might be something good. But it never hurts to get a first-hand look at what's really going on out here. Well, why start now? Okay, but anyway. But the policy came down before. The policy is there, and the mission came before actually coming out. Just to be sure we're doing the right thing. Coming out, yes.
Wow.
Mr. Brown is coming out as a lard-using chef. All right, so what do we have here? Okay, well, Keffer is going to meet with this guy here who's Mitch, who's another pilot, but he's a grumpy Mitch because, he's heard some of the Zeta Squadron talking about his squadron. I don't know what squadron he's with, maybe Alpha or Beta. Let's just say Beta. Yeah, the Beta Squadron.
I think it was marked as Delta, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
I think he said Delta Squadron, but
yeah, but those Zeta one, we know that they always are the go-to squadron first, and I guess Delta's like backup.
Oh, they're the guys that got the blue checks cast. What'd you expect? Wow.
But anyway,
or ascots, as I believe you call them.
Oh, ascots. Yeah.
Said,
oh no, you call them ascots. We just call them bandanas.
I would have called them a cravat myself. Or
a cravat. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the those things there. Some people wear them with their robes and stuff, smoking jackets and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they may call them ascots in New England and stuff like that. I don't know. I just, for me, it's a bandana
because
around your neck.
I would say for me, a bandana has to be tied around your head.
Oh, okay.
No. It's a bandana, as in Vasquez in Aliens.
No, well, just imagine a cowboy right now. Imagine a cowboy, a Western and stuff. John Wayne, he's got a pink bandana tied around his neck.
Yeah, well, I'm not, for some reason, I would think of that as a bandana. The bandana is particular around the head, but same thing, isn't it? Basically.
I guess so. Yeah, it's just if you're a cowboy, it's called a bandana. And then they come up with all sorts of terms for the urban youth, and when they wear them,
Oh yeah.
different things. So, but anyway, we're getting sidetracked as we often do here on Earworms. And what do we have? Oh yeah, Keffer says, "Well, I respect anybody that rides fire." So they basically have a discussion, and they decide, okay, Mitch decides, all right, you're good. You're good people. I'll hook you up with the data I got about this thing in hyperspace. But later he does warn him off. And then in the background, who's overhearing this? I don't know. Some sort of alien. We never really got introduced to who those guys are. They're just side aliens. Look, pal. If you really saw this thing, you would want to have nothing to do with it. Oh, he warns them off now. But this guy's like, maybe. I'd still like your data anyway. So there we go. Now
Here's
we see a
something to
flower.
consider.
Oh, yeah.
All of this thing with Lieutenant Keffer could have been avoided if Sheridan would have only, maybe not all the way, but brought him into the loop about the shadows, because they were going to bring in Talia Winters, who was a member of Psychor, into their inner circle and inform them. Isn't Lieutenant Keffer somewhat a part of the inner circle, at least at the same layer of the circle as Talia Winters? Why didn't they bring him in on the things like, look, I know you saw this, but there's a strategic reason why we're not coming public with this, and we need you to cooperate with this, or else there could be trouble for the entire galaxy. Why didn't they just talk to him?
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. I
Well,
mean,
maybe J. Michael Straczynski only wanted him for one season.
as I recall, he was brought in, possibly. I know he wasn't a particularly popular character, if I remember correctly.
Well, they didn't do a great job with him.
Well,
You
they
didn't get
didn't
to
know
know him.
You didn't get to know him. They did zero development with him,
Yeah.
but they treat him in at least in a few episodes as if we knew him as well as we knew Garibaldi. It's weird.
Yeah, hanging out in Earhart's for a little bit there when.
I think there was. Again, I mean, bear in mind this is going back 30 odd years now. But from what I recall, there was a little bit of the original series, Next Generation thing, where part of the reason that they changed the dynamic of Next Generation was a lot of people pointed out, hold on a minute, Kirk is the captain. He's the commanding officer of the ship. Why the hell is he endangering his life every time when he's got plenty of red shirts to do it? So
at least he wasn't launched in a torpedo tube.
Yeah, true. But so next Generation, what they do is they have a slightly older Picard, and you have Riker as the first officer.
Right.
Riker goes out on the missions. So I think
second in command is expendable.
Yeah, there was. I think there was a point, something to do with that as well. That they changed it around, and that Sheridan is a captain, so Sheridan is an entire grade higher than Sinclair was, for starters. They bring in a higher ranking officer. So again, a captain, a ship's captain. Come on. So one of the reasons for Kef being brought in was to be a slightly more of a Rikerish character, in as much as he could do a bit more of the action when the captain probably shouldn't be out there doing it. But the captain never gelled with the fans.
Still got, taken captive by those Stribe or whatever.
Yeah.
Where he met the Narn guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. But at
least Ivanova tried to talk him out of it. He still insisted on going.
Yep. But as I said, I mean, I think that's part of the reason for Keffer, that he didn't gel with the audience. So they broke him down. If you think about it, he probably appears on screen in season 2.
Lawrence?
wanna
always,
thank-
if not less
We
than
want to
Zach.
thank X Flavius X for the poundage
Thank you
and
so
contributing
much.
to our
Thanks for that.
shrubbery fund.
So I think that's one of the reasons why why they, spoilers for the next 30 minutes, they got rid of him at the end of season 2 because the character just didn't gel with the audience, if I remember correctly.
So, Elisha, could you put that back up so we can read that from Flav? 5-minute
Flav
walk to
said,
the pub.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, you could read it better. You have a better voice and you can see better.
Well,
Flav,
Flav is
that's a pleasure.
I mean, he's kind of stuck in a time warp here. It's a Doctor Who type of phenomenon because it's a 5-minute walk to the pub from his house, yet a 35-minute walk from the pub back to his house. And he says the difference is staggering, and the only way we can explain it is that Flav is
Unless
stuck
he's
in a
the one
wormhole.
doing the staggering.
Exactly.
His-
Yeah, like this is why I groaned when I read that.
Well, that's how in Dublin they can tell who's a real Dubliner versus those who are on, vacation or visiting.
Yes, because you walk to the pub sober, you walk home not quite so sober.
Oh, I thought it would be more interesting if.
Sorry,
I thought he was explaining.
I know
time
if you
warp
explain,
here.
I know if you explain the joke, you read the joke, but that's why I groaned out loud when I read it.
Well, things get more timey-wimey when you when you've had a few.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
timey-wimey. That's
Yeah, I think
That's
next
what's
week
going
I'm
on,
going to have
Flab.
to. Yeah, next week I'm going to employ a little bit of ale for our episode because.
well, we haven't asked Flav. We
Well,
haven't
Flav
asked him.
contributed to the ale fund, and I did my due diligence. At least the 2 grocery stores we regularly go to, I checked, and they didn't have any Newcastle. I'm not saying that that's what Flav's recommending, but I thought something that has something to do with the UK might be good. The closest thing I got was like Florida Man.
No. I'm telling you right now. I had a bit of that one, and it's not English or British or whatever.
Well,
It's
supposed
whatsoever.
to be an India Pale Ale, but I
It
think they
doesn't-
put
no.
blueberries in it or something.
No, they overhopped it. It was just
Ooh.
too hoppy. Flav and Colin, since you both are food experts here, what are you supposed to drink? What pairs well with a Yorkshire pudding with gravy?
I think, Colin's thinking about it. May not be
I'm
easy.
thinking about it on the grounds that I don't actually usually drink alcohol.
Oh. Well, I mean, I would just
So
have
in
like
my case,
one.
that will be whenever I'm drinking drinking a squash or something, or gravy.
Squash? Oh no!
No, because I maybe drink. I'm either drinking coffee or if I'm having a cold drink, it's squash or something. I said I don't. I'm not a teetotaler, but I don't drink alcohol in the normal course of events. I'm not.
Well, neither do I. Just when streaming for the world,
Yeah, like I said. I mean,
because now and then it's the ale fund, now and then it's the shrubbery fund. So I thought I'd have an ale for next week when we do this.
Well, I mean, I like having a wine or a mead or a beer with specific types of food. It enhances
and the reason why
flavor
we're
of the
thinking about it is it's like not just anything would do; it'd have to taste good with it,
Yes. So I'm just wondering what's traditional with the Yorkshire pudding. I would imagine.
Well,
And again, but I know very little about the UK food. I'm imagining something like a beer of some kind. I don't know. I
off the
could be
top,
wrong.
probably.
off the top of my head, and from what I remember when my late parents they didn't drink heavily.
Is it a lager?
It would.
Ooh,
I
stout.
would thought wine was dinner, but I'm quite prepared to bow to anybody else's experiences, especially from there if they're from up north, where Yorkshire puddings come from, and they probably know better than a southern little puffer
good
like me what it will be.
Bitter. What is a bitter?
A bitter ale, I guess.
Okay.
What's a bitter? What Hollywood's like every time their movies fail.
Yes. Well, that's why
Well,
we
they're
haven't
not even.
been to
I don't know that they're that bitter. They a lot of that's performative. They know.
Or at least what
They
they're
know
like
they're
every
not
time
trying to
someone complains
please,
about their
please
movies.
people.
Well, the at least the ale that the Swamp Man ale was very bitter, Lawrence. In fact, I thought it was too bitter for it to be.
No, I mean I liked it. I
Authentic.
still have 2 left. I think.
It was Flav. It was a fruity kind of bitter, like There was something artificially flavoring the beer.
Here, this craft beer stuff. I mean, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Some places are good at it. Some of them, you think, oh, they do all this graphic design on it and stuff. Oh, this is going to be interesting. And then it's like, I don't know. It's like what they add to it that's supposed to be more sophisticated. Usually, a lot of times I don't know. It doesn't taste right. It's like, I don't know. Is that blueberry or is that BY52?
Exactly. You know, there are very few craft beers that I've tried that I've liked, and really the only ones that I've liked are and we visited the microbrewery that
they
makes
call
them.
themselves a lab.
Yeah, Sun
Labs.
Labs in Bradenton, Florida, but they experiment with real ingredients. Like they made a cachucha infused, what do you call it? Cloudy. What do you call those? Sour ales. Oh, I'm a big fan. Everything was natural ingredients, and they were delicious. But you buy these craft beers in the supermarket, and sometimes you taste them from microbreweries, and it's like there's artificial stuff in here.
I'm trying to get something that's more local and you would think better, and it's like not always the case.
What is Jungle Jim's ex Flavius? Is this a brewery and that's kind of spread out international? I don't know.
International. I haven't heard of it, but
he's asking if we have a Jungle Jim's locally. I don't know what that is. Is it a restaurant? I'm not sure what it is.
Well, you'll find out in a moment.
Swappers. He's nearly got all of chapter 13 recorded.
Oh, Swappers, you're not having delusions of grandeur, are you?
A Jedi Knight. I'm out of it for a little while. Everybody gets delusions of grandeur.
I had to. It's Star Wars.
At least we don't have it here in North Florida, Flav. I've not seen a Jungle Jim's here in North Florida.
No, we got to see if there's any brewery. I mean, Gainesville may have a brewery, so.
Gainesville has several microbreweries, but here's the caveat. I think they do supply some of the local supermarkets here, and I think they do engage in the fake ingredients stuff sometimes. It depends, again.
Oh, you got to look at them individually.
Yes, we got to look at them individually, but a lot of the stuff, craft stuff that's made here in Florida, man, they put some fake stuff in that. And Lawrence and I mean, I think anyone who doesn't have corrupted taste buds can tell. It's obvious. It's disappointing.
Well, Ivanova looks like she's got, I've been looking out her window there. It looks like she's got the hydroponics right outside her window, I think. But anyway, she's meeting with Mr. Lantz, and Christmas comes up in the conversation because he had that exotic pen as a Christmas gift, and she remembers that winter is coming, and by the end of the episode she's lighting her menorah, and in the meantime she just talks with this Lance about stuff and finds out that he's a grandfather, and his main mission is to try and achieve peace in his lifetime, and he thinks that peace will be achieved by Making a non-aggression treaty. He doesn't tell her, but that's eventually what it is. Non-aggression treaty with the Centauri. We'll finally know peace. Yeah, with an aggressor. With a very warlike regime, shall we say.
When they're finished with everyone else, then they'll turn their eye to you. They're just going to save you for last. That's all. And I think the only strategy where this could work is like you're preparing yourself for battle once they're...
Well, we find out later that's not it, because we see how deep this Clark thing is. President Clark is in it.
Yeah.
Clark is kind of like the malaria of Earth.
There's something else that's actually literally just occurred to me about this. And it's about this guy, and it is something probably more likely to occur to a Brit than an American for historical reasons. But Munich, 1938.
Oh, is that the Chamberlain thing?
Yeah, Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
When he thinks he's creating peace, and 2 years later.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the first time,
down.
certainly not the last. It's like appeasing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's only when you saying that, and that's what you brought that to mind. That okay,
it's appeasing a
but we see it's even deeper than that. If the shadows were there behind the Nazis in Germany, the parallel would be like they also had their hooks in the UK, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, but no, it's just you use the way you're saying it. I don't think it clocked me before, but you describing it that way made me think, well, hold on a minute, that's very, you could say something similar about.
That's part of what we point out here on Earworms, is some of these parallels where, it's like something that does reoccur, is when, you're trying to appease someone, a regime that seems a little scary. And that's what they held back from doing in Star Trek VI. Really? What? No. Well, Kirk was concerned about it in Star Trek VI, that what was going on was an expansionist plan by the Klingons. But Spock told him otherwise. Anyway, what does David Corbin have to say here? Well, there's a ship coming through the gate, man. And not through the gate. They're not using the gate. It's a ship that can do its own jump point, and their point is on the other side of the planet. They don't want to be seen. And that's what Sheridan derives for that. Wow, a ship coming through? Well, not coming through. Coming out of their own jump point. It's a Narn heavy cruiser. And he gets to meet this Nakai here on the video. And it looks like a cathode ray TV there in inside CNC. And so Sheridan basically finds out this is one of the only, if not the only, surviving Narn heavy cruiser and its captain out there. And they need to stop for supplies and repairs and stuff. And he requests sanctuary. And Sheridan does grant the sanctuary, but not after a commercial break. Not until after a commercial break. But anyway, he grants them sanctuary. Oh, and Ivanova gets to meet Mr. Wells coming through. Mr. Wells has an offer for her. She offers him tea, and he doesn't want any. But he says thank you. But he notices that, she's been a by-the-book soldier and very good at what she does, but also very loyal. And he's testing her loyalty here. Loyalty goes both ways. You could be loyal to your fellow soldiers and your fellow officers. And you can also be loyal to the chain of command. And you kind of want to do both if you can. But he isn't in the chain of command. He's just kind of outside of that. And but he's high up there at the Nightwatch, and they can work some deals for you. They can get you a captainship on a ship, and that's ultimately what she'd like to do after Babylon 5 is the captain of a vessel. And she says, well, it'll be a few years. And yeah, he says, we might be able to shave a few years off of that, make it sooner rather than later. And this is something that comes up in government, I think, a lot. Now, this is the military, so that's a little bit different maybe, and maybe there's some things there, but I know in government, that's one of those things is, people lobbyists wanting to do deals with, like, someone in Congress, some politician in Congress. One of the things they can offer is a retirement plan. Like when you're done running for office and all this stuff, you can sit on a board, for example, or be a lobbyist yourself or something like that. We have something waiting for you. If you do a deal for us now, we have something we can provide you with later. So it's one of those things where it's like, are you going to stick to your principles, or are you going to say, hey, you know what, later I'd like to take advantage of an opportunity, and so now I need to sell my soul to do that. But he makes the offer, and Ivanova is not going for it. She's like, okay, it'll take a little bit longer, but I'd rather do it the right way. And she's like, I've heard of you Nightwatch people, and I could see that my fears were confirmed by the end of this conversation. And so he's rejected.
Oh, don't mention Crusade Eraserhead. Oh no.
Eraserhead.
Oh, no.
Good to see you there. I think we'll be seeing you tomorrow. We have our Tolkien stream tomorrow, the Silmarillion.
I mean, it's actually an interesting thing that obviously this guy is obviously on the bad side, but as we find out later on, he actually managed to survive whatever repercussions there may be for being on the losing side.
Yeah, well, here she's saying that I'd be violating all three, like her loyalty to, not only the chain of command, because he's not in the chain of command, but also loyalty to her fellow officers, whether it's friendship or just, really being loyalty. Because one of those things is everyone there is supposed to be, following their orders and doing the right thing, doing what they're supposed to be doing. And someone questioning it, looking at everything they do, that actually interferes. It may be something that this guy and the Nightwatch is asking you to do, but it actually interferes, because if everybody is worried about the appearance of what they do instead of what they actually do, it does interfere with your ability to be a good soldier too. Because appearances then become the ultimate thing rather than, doing the right thing. So anyway, she rejects him. And then later, of course, we do realize he does show up in Crusade, assisting an interior decorator. And it's more than that. We just call him that lightly because that kind of is what he was doing. Somehow, EarthGov thought that was really important, was to redecorate the Excalibur, even though it had only just launched. It needed a redecoration already. I don't know. It just part and parcel what's weird about that show. But anyway, he still had a job. Let's just.
Well, he wasn't an interior designer. He was an
assistant. He was he's an assistant here. He came along with the Ministry of Peace guy.
Yeah. No, the guy he was with was a tailor.
Yeah.
Was a design consultant, wasn't he? Because he's one that said, why does the captain need pockets? Idiot.
Yeah, well, the thing is also we call him an interior designer because he was commenting about the layout of the ship and
fair point.
Yeah, and stuff all the time, but I don't know. It was a confusing show. Anyway, so Sheridan must have let Jakar know, what came through the gate, and Jakar's all excited. Oh, it's great. One survived. Wow, man. And it's like, will you give them sanctuary? And so I guess Sheridan didn't completely do it yet, but he's like, I can't see why not, So he's like, and then he mentions Mr. Lantz. Of course, Sheridan doesn't know what he's actually there for yet. Then by mentioning Mr. Lantz, Jakar's like, oh, yeah? Oh, so Earth's going to get involved? And so this is where Jakar gets his hopes up. And he's like, Sheridan says, I think so. And he's like, oh, man, so I should talk to this Mr. Lantz. And Sheridan's like, oh, yeah, he's meeting with all sorts of people. So you should go right on over there and book yourself a meeting with Mr. Lantz. And we'll see how that goes later. But it's time for a meeting with the Nightwatch. We've had one of these before where all the Nightwatch people get together and Mr. Wells comes in there. And one thing he's troubled by is like, hey, it's great to see all these new members, but we haven't heard a report from you in a while, Zach. And the thing is, Zach, he's doing this because, I wear this armband and they pay me an extra, 40 credits a week or something? Yeah, I'll do that. Well, they expect more out of you than that. They want you to also report on people. And Zach does say, I'm not exactly comfortable with that. I thought we could exercise a little bit of discretion in doing that. Because, this guy that you're mentioning here, this guy that someone else reported on, could just be a disgruntled guy. He doesn't like, some of the new regulations coming through, but doesn't mean he's a bad guy. It doesn't mean he's a threat to Earth security or anything. People are allowed to have differing opinions, right? You're allowed to say, this law is crap or that regulation's crap or something like that. Apparently not. But
fortunately, unlike his commanding officer, Zach is not about to go where everyone has been before.
Mm.
I think he's very much the in him in Wells here. You can see the genesis of the political officer that gets dumped on Sheridan for one episode in next season, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, we saw there that, maybe he's just a disgruntled citizen, but, how can we tell the difference unless you tell us about it? And, we'll make that decision. Unless we're told, we can't find these things out because it takes some special investigation by the Nightwatch to find out if this is a disgruntled citizen who's a troublemaker or not. But basically all disgruntled citizens are troublemakers. That's the thing he doesn't want to say there. Yeah, I thought we could exercise a bit of discretion here. And he's like, no, of course you can, but you still need to report everything, basically is what he's saying. But I love the acting's great, and you can see from the facial features that he's playing the role great there, and so is Zach with the uncomfortable feeling. I know, he feels uncomfortable with it, but this guy decides to test him right here. He does ask Zach, so anyway, this report's already been made, so you're not going to be actually, you're not actually going to be initiating this report. It's already been made. You could just confirm whether or not it actually happened. How about that? It's really just a test. And then Zach's like, yeah, well, I guess. Yeah, true. It happened, but I don't think it was a big deal. And so this guy's like, all right, yeah, I guess you're flexible enough so we can continue to work with you. Yeah. You learned, Zach. That's good. He's already been named. Yep. And so all you're doing is confirming. And Zach agrees to confirm. Of course, not after, other people look at him. That's where you get the whole peer pressure thing. You're in this group. Everybody's looking at you. Are you going to do what you're supposed to do or not? And it kind of railroad Zach into confirming it. But of course, it's just passing the test. He was able to bend enough that it's like, you're flexible. You're okay, Zach.
Yeah, poor
You
Zach.
You have great promise, Mr. Allen. You're not there yet, but you have great promise. One of these days, you'll be able to do exactly what we want you to do.
Yeah.
I think Zach is another character here where if you follow his path, certainly up to a certain point, you can see he's in some ways he's quite similar to Malari, but he gets a point and he gets his final snap point, and he makes spoilers. He makes the right, as far as we're concerned, decision a lot earlier. But you can see he said he's trying to get. He's been dragged into this. He's been pulled into this and a little bit more. But all the way through, his I don't know if conscience is the right word, but his concerns, his thoughts about, okay, but am I doing right? It's a lot closer to the surface than Malari's is.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Exactly right, Colin. Yeah, and I think conscience is the right word. I think he does have a very strong conscience, especially with all the pressure he's being put under here. This guy, people staring at him, the extra money because the series implies that he's not exactly well off, and he has a history, and he's trying to recover from whatever his history was, because Garibaldi kind of lets us in on his past, sort of.
Yeah, a little bit. He says he brought him in and that.
Yeah, I gave you a chance when no one else did.
50 credits a week. Would
Yeah,
that
and
be
I think-
equivalent to an
I thought it
extra
was 40.
$50?
Oh, we don't. I mean, if you think about it, it's interesting because we never know. We never find out what the pay scales are. But the only thing I want wasn't it 10 credits a week that they wanted to that they tried to charge, that they were charging
Yes.
Ivanov and Sheridan for their quarters.
Yes.
So this is so $50 a week. It's 5 times.
Was it 2
Yeah,
credits? I think it was more than 2. But
No, it was 10. I
10,
think it was 10
credits.
because Sheridan said he didn't care if it was 1 credit. It was a principal. I think I was trying to remember, but
yeah,
So
but
it
if we
gives us-
think about it, this is going back to 90s money, and if you think of it in dollars or even in pounds, I think you would say 50 pounds a week would probably be pretty good back in 90s.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we don't know. The only thing we can make is okay. So 50 credits a week. It's obviously a enough of amount of money that it's extra money. But is it an extra? Is it an extra beer a week?
No,
is
it's
it
more than that. 50.
Is it an extra gallon of gas? We don't know. But I said the only comparison we get is that whatever it is that Earth Force starts charging for command level quarters, it's 5 times that. But we still don't know. We don't know if 10 credits a week is a notional value or is it a large value. What I'm saying is, we still have nothing to compare it to.
No.
Right.
Specifically.
No, but I think a lot of times they choose the numbers based on what their audience is dealing with. And probably that would be like, for me at that time in the 90s and being single and stuff, I was like, yeah, that's like maybe half my grocery bill in a week.
Well, for comparison, my first job when I was 17, my first full-time job, paid £30 a week. Which equated to £1,562 a year. I remember it 40 years later. But my first job was that, so it's just, it's difficult to tell, I mean, So if you're on 200 quid a week, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
then 50 quid is, or 50 quid what it is, it's a 20% increase, 25% increase, right? If you're on 2,000 credits a week, it's there, literally pocket change. So it's, you know, without knowing what the actual sort of pay scales and cost of things is, it's difficult to tell, but we can tell that it's enough to make a difference.
It's enough that there's a room full of people here.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And so we have to assume that it's like, it's enough. It's enough to kind of get people in. And then once you get them in, like Zach, even if they have some issues, you can kind of coax them into doing what you want them to do, little by little, with some little pressures, especially peer pressure, just this continued thing that, you know, this is the way Earth's going. We are working for Earth we're part of the Ministry of Peace, you know? So it's not like just doing some outside venture. This is something high up in the government, maybe not directly in the chain of command, but it's like, it's related, you know, it's still your side. It's still your government. And that does bring weight and pressure on it. And as soon as you start seeing, you know, some people getting arrested and stuff like at the end of this episode, then you're like, okay, I'm at least on the side where if I play by the rules, I'll be okay and won't end up in jail. So it's the carrot in the stick. The carrot is the 50 credits to lead you into it, and then the stick is the threat of punishment later, where if you want to stay out of jail, you'll do as you're told. And that's the way a lot of this stuff goes. And then what do we have here? Oh, they're having a meeting in the dark, and that's where the data crystal is given for the location of this thing in hyperspace. Somewhere in Sector 14, but I guess you need a little more data than that. And Keffer's like, well, thank you for it, but this guy's warning him. You know, it's like your worst nightmare. Yeah, but Keffer's going to investigate it whenever he gets a chance anyway. Oh, and here we go. Jakar gets to meet Mr. Lantz, and Mr. Lantz is like, I'm meeting with people within certain parameters, and you're kind of outside that parameter. Then poor Jakar at the end of the scene, he's just standing there like, oh. Okay, and then back to here, and Nakai is like in a situation where they have to take their jump engines offline if they're going to properly do something, and Sheridan says, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you won't be able to jump for a while, but that's all right. You know, you need to do these repairs and stuff. And so he encourages them to do it. You'll be all right. You have our protection. So, and then I just always like to look at these things to see what's going on here. That's nice. They use the drop shadow behind the font. And you can select gold channel or encryption. Oh, no, that is just gold channel. And they have encryption on the gold channel. That's very good. All right, so what's happening here? Well, Mr. Lantz comes in CNC, and he's kind of upset with Sheridan. I hear you've been training against Centauri. Well, not against the Centauri themselves, but against Centauri strategies and tactics and stuff. You're basically like trying to train your people to be able to deal with the Centauri. Oh, no, I can't have this. I can't have this. And Sheridan's like, well, why not? I mean, they're being aggressive and stuff. It looks like something we got to be prepared for. And it's like, you're ruining everything I've been working for. And they're like, well, what are you working for? It's like, well, you know, after this, we're going to know peace in our time because we're going to have a non-aggression treaty with the Centauri. So that's when he finally lets it out to them. And, you know, all this kind of stuff will jeopardize everything he's working for. So you got to stop doing it. And so, I mean, he can't give the direct order himself to stop doing it, but he could obviously have the Joint Chiefs of Staff do that. So it's really almost kind of like the same thing. This is where Sheridan, I guess, really gets the signal that there's some nasty stuff going on. You know, how could you be like doing this at this point after all the things the Centauri have done? He doesn't know the extent of it, but this is where it's becoming clear that they knew that there's bad, dark stuff going on in Earth government, but now they can see it's more than just a change of president. It's more than just someone trying to take out the president and take the presidency themselves. It's like a big change in policy as well. And in this case, it's more than just a policy. It's like, okay, it's like, are we becoming the baddies? Uh-huh. And then here we see somebody afterwards who's probably on CNC say, I'm sorry, Mr. Wells, I missed the meeting, but there's something that you should know. And I think that's where I think this is where she's kind of reporting on Sheridan and basically the fact that there's a Narn vessel there. So that's where Wells, who's with Mr. Lantz, gets informed on what's going on with Sheridan there. And then that's where he's like, I used to feel great when I put on this uniform. I could handle anything, but now it just seems like a piece of cloth. That's nice art.
And another nice little
that's not artwork. Is that like a big view of the?
I'm not sure. Looking at it, I think it's probably art. I think it's probably meant to be artwork.
Okay. But it looks kind of like the inside of the station where they have a park and everything.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, because the tree would have to be pretty much right outside the window and a view screen. But the angle looks wrong,
right?
For it to be, and because you look at the angle of sort of whatever the circle thing is in the background, it looks odd because if you're looking down the inside of a cylinder, then anything around the edge of the cylinder is going to be around the edge of the image, whereas that's not. If you see what I'm saying, that makes sense.
No, the angle seems wrong, but
and also, I mean, it looks more like a picture frame than a
and you'd want
a screen, but it could
on
be,
that. You don't want exactly, your quarters to be like.
Aquarium
that people in.
I mean, obviously his quarters. It's good. If it was, it would be view screen because his quarters are not going to be right next door to.
Oh
that.
yeah, right. Anyway, but it's a nice quarters there that you got, but basically, it gets us out of the way, so the Centauri can go on about other worlds. Yeah. You get to wait in line. Not now, but later after they're done with the other worlds. Maybe. We find out later that probably not. It's just like the powers that be out there are utilizing two different regimes to do their thing. So anyway, that's where he talks about his uniform and what it meant to him, and now it doesn't seem to mean the same things anymore. Well, the new year is coming. So maybe this new year, 2260, is going to be the year that maybe things will start making sense.
Yes.
Well, but anyway, since New Year's coming, I don't know if you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever, but here you go. Here's a present. And he takes it out. Looks like coal, but it isn't. It's a piece of the, what was that called? The White Star?
Black Star.
Black Star. Yeah. The same name as, what was it, that album, the last album by David Bowie. It's called Black Star. But anyway.
Maybe he was a Babylon 5 fan.
Maybe. But this is to celebrate the fact that everyone was saying it was impossible to take down a Minbari cruiser, but you did it. So that's inspiration that you can sometimes the impossible really is possible. So hopefully, that sentiment will bear fruit here. Malari's upset though. He calls straight to Sheridan right here. And he's like saying, there's a Narn cruiser out there. And it's like, how did Malari find out? I guess Wells and Lantz must have told them. It's like, what the hell? You guys are telling him before you talk to Sheridan? That's not a good idea.
Yeah, we never find out, do we? I mean, it might be someone else. But yeah, I mean, the implication certainly is that. I mean, we don't know for certain that that's what she told Wells, but it's a pretty followable in-stream bit of logic.
Lance comes in pretty shortly, complaining about the fact that there's a Narn cruiser there. So I think that's what she was telling Wells.
Oh, I think it's reasonably obvious to say, but the thing is, it's not.
But how did Malari find out?
Did the did he tell Malari before he told, or did Wells tell Lance and then Wells told Malari while Lance went to see Sheridan? Well, I'm imagine would be that would be.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, it doesn't tell us how did Malari find out, but I mean, we can suspect that maybe Lance was thinking, this is going to ruin my treaty. I better tell Malari so we're open and maybe we can maintain this non-aggression treaty. But it's like, you're not going to talk to Sheridan first? I don't know. But they don't say that's how Malari found out. But in any case, Malari did find out, and Sheridan's quick on his feet. I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Yeah.
All sorts of interference. Can't hear you. I'll talk to you in a bit. And then, it says run diagnostic. So that way he can't even call back. How the hell did he find out? I don't know. That's what we're trying to find out.
Aren't they aware that half of their security force is part of Nightwatch?
I think they're becoming aware of that now. But she
Ivanova
says must have been Wells.
She knew about Nightwatch before they came on board. So wouldn't she have come to the captain and said, "Hey, we got a problem. There are Nightwatch agents all over the station. There could be some on the bridge, and so we have to nip this in the bud somehow."
Well, and it depends. I mean, because if I remember right, we don't know how we don't know what the command staff knows about Nightwatch. I mean, obviously we know about it because Gary Baldy knows about it through Zach, and also, if I remember right, Nightwatch personnel are supposed to wear the armbands. So anybody who's in Nightwatch should have the armband on. So they should be able to know which is which. So it kind of suggests that that at this point they're not necessarily worried about Nightwatch. It's just that with Wells on with Wells on there now they've actually got Nightwatch. They've got some they can actually an immediate superior they can report these things to, rather than reporting them.
Yeah, they're becoming aware of it now is basically it. They're becoming aware of the problem and what this can lead to now.
They knew Nightwatch was there, but it had never been a big enough. I mean, even with Zach, it had never been a big enough problem to impinge on Sheridan and Ivanova's thought processes when it came to dealing with their staff. They're presumably still dealing with the standard, understandable military mindset that you.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Clear CNC, get everyone out of there?
Well,
apparently,
I mean,
in order to operate, it needs those people there. So
the thing is, if there's an organization that is undermining your command, you have every right as the captain of that space station to take them off duty and replace them.
This is where they're
with
becoming
aware
of it. So it's like now that they're becoming aware that they are undermining us, And this is, I guess, the point where they could begin doing that sort of thing. They just they didn't know up to this point. And then the other thing that makes it difficult is because this is from EarthGov. It's not just like some club that formed.
Well, it's a civilian. It's a civilian organization, and didn't they make a point about the chain of command?
Well,
at
it's
some
not
point?
a civilian organization. The ministry, well, civilian, but not really. I mean, it seems like it's, they make the point of the chain of command thing later because it was the political office, almost like a campaign office. But here, this is the Ministry of Peace. They're not directly in the chain of command, but they do show in this episode that the Joint Chiefs of Staff are the ones that ordered Sheridan to do the apology.
Well,
later.
Sheridan did mention later, or somebody told Sheridan, a senator can't give you an order.
Yeah, that's in another episode. But
that's
the thing
one way
is,
to get rid of it, but
they didn't give an order yet, but they concede that this is what Earth government policy is, and apparently the president, who is, the head of, the commander in chief, does have this Nightwatch thing going and is utilizing this Nightwatch. So obviously it's something that's tied into the military.
There's also there is a difference. I mean, it's perhaps a subtle difference, but it's an important difference, and it's actually well shown up. It's almost a shame they didn't go for this, but it's shown up. The very specifics of, again, without blowing too much, an order. Where it comes to a head is Sheridan receives an order, and that order has not come down to the proper chain of command.
Mm-hmm.
And that's correct. But Nightwatch isn't an order. Nightwatch is a policy.
Mm-hmm.
A policy initiative. And a policy initiative is a political thing. And because it's a political initiative, that doesn't have to come down from that doesn't have to follow specific chain of command, because it's not command. It's a subtle difference, but it's a little bit like I don't know, changing uniform perhaps, or anything or something like that, or a changing unit designation, something like that, and it can come down. But if it's a general change in policy, it doesn't have to come down from direct through the chain of command, because it's not command. If you see what I mean, I suppose it's a bit like pay rate, the pay thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The pay thing we mentioned earlier on. That wasn't the case that they had to do it because it came through the chain of command. That was a policy rather than a command. And the Nightwatch thing is a policy, so they have no, unless they can actually prove that it is. As you said, Liza, that they can prove that it's something that is deleterious to military discipline. That is going to adversely affect things. He hasn't really got anything to stand on until we get to the point where it literally
happens.
Where it happens. When at the moment, as I said, it's a stage of they notice the policies come down. It's a little bit like allowing or requiring people to wear medals in things and this sort of thing. But I think that's what the difference is there. At the risk of
towards the end of the episode, we see Nightwatch security people kind of arrest a guy and close his business. It's also interfering with the constitutional rights of the people and I'm sure the judicial system on Babylon 5. But it
hadn't until this episode, so that's why they hadn't been able to do anything. And now is when they start,
Okay. Point taken. Yeah.
So now is when they start realizing what's going on here. And so at the end of this episode, they were smart. You'll see that the order came from the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So basically, it's where the Ministry of Peace, this Lantz and Wells, were able to get the Joint Chiefs of Staff to do the order through proper chains of command.
Yeah.
To order Sheridan to apologize. But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
here, this guy's not going to be able to get out of there for some time. And it's like, well, work on it. Try and get out of here as soon as you can. We'll cover you until then. But Sheridan is basically going to stand by his word and defend the Narn vessel until they're able to get out of there. And that's when the Centauri cruiser shows up. So, okay, looks like we got some trouble here. And so he's basically going to say, all right, we're going to cover the Narn vessel until they're able to get out of here. So we're going to protect them. And they launched the Zeta Squadron to escort the Narn vessel out of there. So basically the Centauri then have to make the decision, okay, are we going to fire on the Earth Force vessels in our attempts to capture or destroy the Narn cruiser? And they eventually make that decision that they're going to do it. But Mr. Lantz comes in and he's all upset now. He's like, what is going on here? You have a Narn vessel here. You're ruining everything I've been working for. Well, you've been working for the wrong stuff, guy. But Sheridan's like, okay, get Mr. Lantz out of here.
Yeah.
And so
You can't just show up to the bridge of a ship and say, you're ruining everything I'm working for. It's like, yeah.
we didn't know what you were doing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, all this kind of gets talked about later, but right now we got to handle stuff. So you got to get out of here because we got to defend our station. And I got a little clip of something here. There we go. Just a little bit of something I like it when they launch fighters. All right. Well, Malari finally gets through. I guess the view screen in command and control is working. Captain Sheridan. And he's like, well, the Narn vessel's leaving. I gave them sanctuary and basically we're protecting them until they leave. Now, you're not going to fire on us, are you? You're not going to because any attack on our fighters is considered to be an attack on this station. So Sheridan's drawing the line. And after the Narn vessel's out of here, it's no concern of ours. Now, and he's telling them about the fighter squadron he assigned to them. Any attack on them is an attack on this station. And so after that, Malari doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything. He's got a decision to make, but I don't think it's even his decision. He's an ambassador. He may be high up and he may have been behind all this stuff, but the Centauri captain and the government's going to decide what they're going to do. But they basically said, send a copy of this message to the cruiser as well, so they know exactly what our position is. And then the Centauri cruiser decides, you know what? We're going to target your vessels. We're going to target the station. We're going to war here. And so they bring out the guns, don't they? Look at that. I call those the scoop shooters. These are the ping pong blasters. These are the scoop shooters. And I don't know what those are. The four-way bang bangs. I don't know. But in any case, they bring out their artillery there. And so Babylon 5 is ready to defend itself. And he's telling this Narn cruiser, you ready to go? We're going to escort you out of here, but y'all want to hurry up now. And so there we go. We see the engines lighting up. The Narn cruiser's on its way out. The fighters are escorting, and the Centauri vessel moves into position to attack. And it is, as Corbin says, they're targeting the fighters as well as the station. So then Sheridan says, arm yourselves, fire if fired upon. And so Warren is there in his craft heading out. He's leading Zeta Squadron, protecting the Narn vessel. They're trying to provoke us into firing first. That's exactly what it is. And he's like, well, we're not going to fire first.
Someone else did that, didn't they?
Yeah. The Minbari tried that too.
Yeah.
Well,
The Trigati, yeah.
The Trigati, yeah. Oh, hell. And that could be misunderstood as Minbari for continuous fire.
Yes, it can.
Or is it hell? A-W.
Yeah, close enough. They could confuse it.
There is an energy spike. That means they're firing. So the Centauri fire first. Important. And then there was all sorts of things here. I was trying to get some good shots of the firing back and forth, but it created these little lines and stuff. So I had to be selective about the shots. So that's where, now that they're being fired upon, the fighters can defend themselves and the station can defend itself. And it becomes all sorts of firing back and forth. Launch everything we've got.
I used to misunderstand that phrase, time on target. What it actually
what does it mean, in fact?
It means time on target means everything hits at the same time.
Ah.
So it's an artillery term. So, for example, if you've got shooting from close range and long range, you time your shots so that the ones that are going to take the longest to get there fire first. The idea being, rather than start an artillery barrage and give a warning, everything hits in one massive hammer blow. Or you may continue then after that, but you get your maximum strike in first, rather than minimum strike that then builds up. So the idea being that
the sorry smell of elderberries.
Yes.
Gavin unit is determined to derail us.
I thought that was my job.
No, Gavin is trying to get his title back. Colin.
So time on target, I guess you'd have to be there. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yeah, I mean it's a calculation.
Yeah,
it's weird because it's probably not something you can actually do immediately. I mean, if they're all energy weapons, they're all going to hit at the same time.
Well, they're there in CNC, and I guess they're the ones controlling the fire. So, I mean, just by saying time on target, they probably initiate a sequence to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine you can say they've got advanced firing, that their firing computers are advanced enough to work that out to have a button says time on target.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is it also the other thing it means is they're not in this case, but presumably if you're shooting at 2 or 3 different targets, again, time on target means everything is, it's more complicated, but everything is aimed. So if you're hitting target A, B, or C, they all hit at the same time, and of course they may be different distances away as well.
Well, it worked, whatever it was, because then the Centauri vessel takes on all sorts of explosive stuff. And then scramble all medical ships. It's too late. Oh, no. Well, the Centauri heavy cruiser paid for what it did. All sorts of exploding and blowing up. Now, Mr. Lantz is upset. Very upset. This guy's been upset the whole time he's been there. He did say earlier he is satisfied what he's seen. And I don't know what it was that he saw that satisfied him. But earlier, that's where he said, in making the recommendation for the non-aggression treaty, he said he was satisfied with what he's seen, but he hasn't been satisfied with anything he's seen with Babylon 5, of course. And so he's telling, once again, you're jeopardizing everything I worked for. The Centauri are furious with us. And Sheridan's like, they fired first. And I'm not going to apologize for defending this station. If I wouldn't have, we wouldn't be here talking about this. They fired first. Yeah. You destroyed a Centauri warship. You're still alive, Lance.
Yeah, he's got his priorities a little backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But you had no visits giving sanctuary to a Narn vessel, but then Sheridan reminds him of regulations. I'd be disobeying regulations if I wouldn't have done that. Basically, like any ship that is not currently in at war with Earth, basically you are supposed to offer aid to, ships in distress. That's just the regulations.
And in fact, the exact wording of that means that it could mean that you even help hostile vessels as long as they're not committing hostile actions.
Right. Yeah, not currently in hostilities with Earth.
Yeah, because it's the vessels, not the vessels of a nation. It's the vessel.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I mean, assuming it's worded that way, it could be taken to mean that you even help out the enemy. You blow an enemy warship up, and then you pick up all their wounded, which is what they're about to do there, as we mentioned when they said about scrambling medical ships and the rest of it.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. But basically, good catch there, because those medical ships that he ordered to help out, it's like as with a ship that at least was no longer a threat because they had basically nearly destroyed it. Well, they did destroy it basically. So Lance is like, the Centauri government, because what does it say? The Centauri government, because you
accuses you of moving Babylon 5. How?
Don't know.
Of moving Babylon 5.
From a neutral position to pro.
Oh, okay.
Narn.
Okay, from neutrality to a pro Narn position. Okay, he's talking about.
I thought he meant they were accusing of moving the station.
That's why I include the subtitles to confuse us.
Yeah.
There are a few other series in sci-fi where Earth plays the bad guy.
But how can they say that? Because right now, Narn is like what? A part of the Greater Centauri Republic, a colony or something. So there is no pro-Narn position, really.
Yeah, true, technically. And no, he tried everything he could not to open fire on the Centauri warship. And as soon as they knew the Centauri was out of the fight, they tried to scramble medical assistance. So can't really going to base them.
Yeah, no. But I mean, the show is basically bringing you to that point, to that conclusion. Yeah. So, but here Wells is kind of like saying, "Hey, yeah, he was right. Sheridan was right in his actions. But if he would have told us beforehand, we could have, handed over the ship to the Centauri and asked for sanctuary for their crew." And Sheridan's like informing him, "Well, they wouldn't have done that. They wouldn't have agreed to it because." But either way, it's like, I had no idea what you guys were doing. I had no idea what the diplomatic plans were. I offered sanctuary to the ship, and I didn't know I needed to report it.
Hey, Mike, glad you enjoyed your holiday, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, you just got back.
Nice.
Guess that means I've got to watch the Rattles by next Friday then.
Oh, the Rattles.
Well, I'll email Mike. We'll see if. Yeah, we're going to do the Ruddles at some point, but it is on YouTube, so it's not hard to find.
I know. Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to be this Friday or the next one, but we will be doing that shortly.
Ardent Party is pro wood stove.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
beginning to
Oh
wonder
yeah. We
if-
still have the. But people may not know. This is like how we're going to make Yorkshire pudding. We're not saying just in general air fryer or wood stove.
Yes, I was beginning to wonder. Is Ardent Party watching the stream is Ardent watching the stream?
Yeah, I'm going to end the poll just so you know. Yeah, because next week we're going to do a little bit because we're in between seasons. We're gonna do some Yorkshire pudding making, and it looks like you guys want us to do it on a wood stove. So we have a wood burning pizza oven, right? That's what we're going to
Yes,
do.
it's basically an oven that runs on wood.
Wood.
You could bake anything in
Very
it.
small rocks.
I think there's I can't remember who someone mentioned earlier on. Might be worth, just to give you an excuse, might be worth you trying the different ones, Liza, to see which one works best.
Well, I think it would be more entertaining to use
Well, you, obviously.
yeah, because either way, whether I use the wood burning stove and the wood burning stove won the poll, by the way, by a landslide.
Okay.
Either way, it's going to be a disaster. You know this, right? If it isn't something very, very simple. I mean,
Yeah.
I did not. My mom's talent for cooking wasn't passed on to me in my blood. It wasn't. So
I would.
it's
I
going
think it
to
is
be
very, very simple.
interesting.
And the default is just go down to your local shops and buy some frozen or pre-cooked ones and heat them up.
The
Like you
thing
said,
is,
you might-
Colin, we don't have frozen Yorkshire puddings here in North Florida. I've never seen it. I mean, you
it's
could
about
get
the process. People want to see us out there with a campfire and a wood burning oven making Yorkshire pudding.
or maybe
Well,
trying
we'll do the
to make
making.
Yorkshire
We'll do the
puddings.
making in the kitchen first,
Yes.
and then it's all about the cooking and the waiting.
And then, and Flav, I forgot to ask. In this article that you linked, is there also a recipe for a gravy?
Gravy granules, hot water.
Yeah.
That's what I always do. But then I always just knew. But then again, my version of mashed potato is a stick mashed potato in the microwave for 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. I'm going to try to do this the old-fashioned way, Colin, if I can. It depends on what I can.
Well, we're gonna
Source
have
at the
we're gonna have
supermarket.
two scenes basically. It'll be indoor first. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do it. With the cell phone. The stream will largely be cell phone.
I was going to say, how are you going to fit? Wonder how
Well,
you
here's the thing. I do have this thing where, like right now, my camera is the cell phone. So I can even funnel the audio through that, and so I could basically coming into StreamYard remotely, and I'll just put myself as the big screen, and it won't be me; it'll be us on camera. First in the kitchen, then we'll move it. We'll put the cell phone on a tripod, so move it outside.
It's the flour. I can honestly say it's the only way I know how to make gravy. Same as cheese sauce, but I can't afford cheese sauce anymore. But I can find it.
Cheese sauce. Wow. Yeah. Well, you can
Serve
make cheese
pecan
into sauce.
pie for dessert.
Pecan pie. Well, they're adding the chores here.
I know. I can't bake Ardent Party.
Well,
No,
Yorkshire pudding is the pudding. So
no one said you have to bake the pecan pie.
Well, I could cheat and buy one from Publix, but
That's what I said. No one said you had to cook the pecan pie. Just serve it.
ooh, speaking of pecan pie, Colin, since you're the historical guy on this panel,
Okay.
right.
No.
I discovered earlier today that on our homestead there is one apple tree that is producing apples, can I technically name the orchard Avalon?
Is it on an island?
Oh, it has to be on an island?
Well, Avalon, I think, means Isle of Apples.
Oh, it has to be an isle, but we're on a peninsula. So maybe, right?
Well, I suppose if you want to be really, really technical, the entire continent of North and South America are surrounded by ocean.
That's true. It's like a
technically,
giant island. Yes.
So technically, you're an island.
You know what?
So is Europe, Asia, and Africa, and so is Australia. Very, very, very technically indeed.
Yes. Well, I mean, I want to call something Avalon. It's such a cool name.
Well,
I want to paint a sign that says we're in Avalon. I want to paint one for my garden.
I mean, it's an island. It's an island of apples in the middle of nowhere. So, you know,
Oh, Arden Party, we're cat people.
What? He wants us to get a dog or something?
He wants us to call our dog, if we had a dog, Avalon.
No. Avalon.
Avalon.
Well, we probably
Avalon.
have a new litter of cats underneath the house.
Yeah.
One of them can be Avalon.
Avalon. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't fit as a cat name. Maybe, I don't know.
Well,
I'll think about it, Arden Party.
and Londo does.
we might as well finish
Londo
this episode. We
doesn't.
might as well finish this episode. Yes, Londo of Avalon.
Londo of Avalon. I like that.
So what is, Sheridan saying, you can't trust them. And he's like, you're quite wrong there. The Centauri, you know, we've reasoned with them and they've come to a very, satisfying relationship with us. These guys are great.
Oh, gosh. I mean, just, keep ignoring reality, guy, and you'll see how it'll come to bite you in the butt.
Yeah, well, we don't know what this guy's motivations are, other than what he said, initially. He wants peace so badly that we'll make deals with tyrants. Whatever, but they're reasonable tyrants. But in any case, he's like, well, fortunately, the Centauri, being so magnanimous, they're willing to drop the whole thing so long as you issue an apology. And he's like hell I will. Well, no, this comes from the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So they did use the chain of command to enforce this. And so you need to deliver an apology. And Sheridan's smart. He's like, so I guess this apology is already written. And this guy's like, no. Anything that's a real apology will do. And as with everything, it's the thought that counts. It'll be in the Zen garden, by the way. It's an appropriate place, don't you think? And yeah, this is where he asks about being written. So anyway, that's right. We have one more thing here going on with the kind of B plot, I guess you would call it. Basically he's out here, fortunately, somewhere in hyperspace. He's like, I got these coordinates I want to check out in hyperspace. I didn't know they had coordinates in hyperspace, but I guess so.
Off topic, Flav, we have briars on our homestead called cat briars. His cat's name is Briar.
Briar Tuck.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. For those of you who are wondering, this Wednesday we're going to be doing we're going to be talking about Robin of Sherwood. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, and in fact it may be something that happens every now and then for fun. But we'll be talking Robin of Sherwood, I guess, now general overall series and probably some of the highlights of season 1. Let's see how it goes.
Ooh, Ava is a good cat name. It's and we could say it's short for Avalon.
Well, Sheridan's practicing his apology speech. Although this one probably wouldn't go well. He's like saying, I'm sorry that you guys are a bunch of bastards. I'm sorry that you fired first and I had to defend this station and blew you all straight to hell.
Yeah, I love the way that he does that.
Yeah.
It's the thought that counts.
Yes.
Well, back to here. Uh-oh. That looks like a shadow vessel. Not going well for you here. Got you. And then he releases a camera and sends a black box back to Babylon 5. But anyway, here's the Zen garden. It's looking pretty. Man, they must have gone all out with their studio for doing this episode, because that
All
kind
that
of
space, yeah.
that kind of looked fairly real, the monorail and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. But all that space there that they have to grow coffee.
Yeah.
I sympathize with Ivanova. Why have a Zen garden when you could have an orchard, or you could grow avocados and oranges and coffee
And apples.
and apples? Yeah, why not have an aisle of apples on Babylon 5? I mean, Kosh is basically Merlin.
Mm-hmm.
There he is.
Yeah, he's there in the Zen. He's there in the Zen garden getting ready for Sheridan's apologies. Like all the dignitaries are there, because
Oh, I didn't know that. So I knew I knew it was Sleeping Beauty and Briar Rose, but I didn't realise that was that. That's what they called her in the original Grimm Tales. Interesting.
Fascinating. I gotta look up the original tale. Never read the original.
Oh, how to put this? You will read one Grimm fairy tale and you will understand exactly what the word Disneyfied means.
Oh, I believe it. I believe that
Fairy tales
Disney.
Tales for kids.
I heard that they're like horror stories. They're terrifying. That's what I've heard.
Well, which one is it? I think it's Cinderella, where the ugly sisters cut the toes off so they fit in the shoe, and then I think the stepmother is made to dance to death in red hot iron shoes.
My gosh.
Yeah. They're morality tales for kids back in a time when we didn't actually when we didn't treat kids like, well, babies. We treated like them as reasonably intelligent people.
They don't end well. Well, at least not for the bad guys, I hope. I hope they don't end. I hope there's somewhat of a happy ending for the good guys. Oh.
Malari's there. Yeah. Ready to receive the apology, and there's
just to throw some trivia, and it is trivia. The first musical morality tale. You know who wrote it? Anyone know?
Who wrote it?
Kosh.
Kosh might have been involved. I'm pretty sure that he was involved in it. It was Ordo Virtutum by Hildegard of Bingen.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Well, you do, because you've got particularly at Easter time, we used to get what they called morality plays, medieval plays. What they called morality? They were morality plays, but Gavin.
What is this that Gavin is saying?
How do I put this? Jimmy Savile adjacent.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The what? That's like anti-morality.
That's
play.
anti-morality play
Yeah.
or anti-morality story.
You didn't, shall I say, you didn't want to be in his gang.
Mm.
One of his big songs was, "Do you want to be in my gang?" But no.
Well,
To be, by the way, Hildegard, the Ordo Virtutum, beautiful composition. Yeah. They have parts of it on YouTube. Go check them out.
well, Sheridan's going to take the monorail over to the Zen garden, but he passes by some Centauri that look rather suspicious. And then, there's Jakar hiding in the bushes. Ivanova spots him and says, you might not want to be here. He's like, oh, but I have some friends in the League of Non-Aligned Worlds. They might be willing to listen to reason. It's like they have nothing to do with it. Earth government ordered Sheridan to make this. Well, she doesn't say that, but it's like Earth Gov ordered him to make this apology. Yeah. But anyway, meanwhile, it looks like it's all, well, you got the footage you needed, so that's good. Send that thing away in the black box recording, because, sorry for coughing on audio there. I should mute myself if I can, because I had more to cough. Yeah, and so the shadow vessel is going to come up and get personal. Good thing he sent that recording away. So that's the end of Warren Keffer, and he will no longer be appearing on Babylon 5. Sorry for all you fans out there. So if they were doing him for an action figure, I guess what happened is they found out the action figure thing, they never got any deals, so...
Yeah.
So I said, okay, we're going to take you off the show. Well, here we go. Here's the monorail. And Sheridan gets on, gets a seat, and look at that. Yeah, it's nice stuff, man.
Man, they thought of everything in this show. How
Yeah,
people,
look at the scenery
town,
going by in the back.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool if they would have produced a special taking us through a tour of Babylon 5, a real tour, showing us all of its features. That would have been fun.
This part of this, that some of these pictures are why I was really looking forward to when I heard that Denis Villeneuve was going to do Rendezvous with Rama, and then he went and decided to do Bond instead. Because Rendezvous in Rama's an O'Neill cylinder as well. Because that leads a couple of interesting questions to me, though. That presumably the monorail is in the middle of the station. So presumably each stop you get out in a zero gravity or lodging, and then you get a lift. So you get a lift or something down or out or down effectively to the ground. So presumably what he must have done, he must have been going to go past the Zen garden, come down, and then walk back into the Zen garden, I suppose.
What? I don't think.
Well, because as we're about to find out, he's over the Zen garden when he jumps out, right?
Well,
Therefore,
we don't know. He could have been over anything. Kosh is the one that brought him to the Zen garden.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose. Yeah, we just see it in there. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this seems to be central in the station, but I guess they still have gravity there because they're not floating around.
There must be something in there because it's in the middle. They say, don't they, that it's down the middle of the thing. Arden, I'll go one up on you, mate. I remember playing the computer game of Rendezvous with Rama.
Do we have a purple Drazi sitting next to Sheridan? I think the purples won eventually.
Well, they
Well,
got. Oh yeah, the greens
I-
got turned into purple.
I would Yep. Yep, there was Ardent. Quite a good game, as I remember, as well. It's a puzzle-solving one. I would imagine from the fact that probably, if you want to make an in-universe explanation, the purple green Drazi thing is over with, because you never see any Drazi wearing purple or green scarves.
No,
So
I guess it.
logically, one would say that in universe, the time's over.
But their year was over already. I don't know. Maybe the rules committee finally got down to it
Yeah.
and decided it was a silly idea.
Well, they decided they didn't really want everyone that went
Yeah.
into Draws had to be wearing a purple scarf to remind you. But would
Well,
have been nice
anyway.
if they had done.
Mhm. Well, the Centauri leaves the
Now you
the
see, go back.
monorail suspiciously. Yeah. Oh, we're going back.
It's just because you see again, if that stop is in the middle of the station, shouldn't they all be in 0G when they get out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a physicist, so I know that they use the centrifugal force to try and create
Yeah,
gravity,
that's-
but I think it would only be on the outside of the
Yeah, exactly.
cylinder that you
Yeah,
get.
that's what I'm saying. If they're in the middle of the, if they're sitting in the monorail goes down, presumably from the looks of it, the monorail goes right down the middle of the cylinder, which is why it's in
Yeah.
0G, because it's literally the center of rotation. So when they're getting out there, they must be getting out somewhere that is in the middle of the cylinder.
Yeah, I guess you just got to imagine that the
Yeah.
cylinder rotating makes gravity everywhere.
Yeah, but it does. But the point is that it rotates at a particular speed so that it makes 0G. It makes the equivalent of one gravity at the inside surface.
Right.
So therefore, I mean, it's a little bit pedantic, but this is such a
Well,
sci.
we're assuming that the monorail goes through the middle of the cylinder,
Well, look
but maybe
at it.
it's
It
more
kinda-
towards the outside.
Well, no, because when he jumps out, he's jumping out toward,
Yeah,
you know,
and she says he's
floating down
the-
towards the
oh, no, but-
outside. So yeah, it has to be in the center
Yeah.
for when he jumps out. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to have any time to float down.
Okay.
So anyway, I guess it's one of those things where the cylinder just makes gravity everywhere. But there's the
Yeah, it's
bomb.
one of those. It's one. Yeah.
And well, look at that view. That looks like all sorts of grid works of farms and everything, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like, a view from an airplane.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing is, did they at some point say how wide the station is? I can't remember. I know it's 5 miles long.
No, they didn't say how wide.
But did they say by 1 mile wide? 1 mile wide? I'm not sure.
Probably at some point. But you know how my memory is. Might be able to look it up. Whatever it is, it takes they had less than a minute though to try and rescue him. So
Yeah.
but they did mention 60 miles per hour was basically like
Yeah, which-
the rate at which the cylinder is spinning. So I'm not sure if he was falling at 60 miles per hour or I think it was the outside of the cylinder is spinning 60
Yeah,
miles
'cause
per
she's-
hour. So
Because he's going to be coming down. He's going to be coming down. He's going to be getting heavier and heavier. So it's not going to be a straight out 1G all the way down. Yeah.
But yeah, so there he is jumping out because the bomb's going off, and man, all sorts of stuff going on in there. Look at that road with the lines on it. I think that's a road.
It's crazy. You could see the curvature of the tube, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the detail is amazing.
Well, I said, I mean, if it's, yeah, I mean, it depends. It can't be that wide. Interesting enough, there's another book I'm reading where they've got they're actually in a massive system, which is basically a long tube all the way around the planet, and it's so wide you almost can't see the curvature when you're within it. Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, the thing is, I think they're saying he's not quite he's in microgene. He's possibly also because he's pushed himself out. I suppose that might give him some push, but it's and it is something that it does make you think if you get too pedantic about it.
Yeah.
And it's just science fiction show. We like getting pedantic about things like Babylon 5 because they're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here, what is she's saying here?
Get the jetpacks. The captain.
Well,
we
and
only
then
have this much time before he crashes into the
Jakar
ground.
is asking, "What are you doing?" And then she gets to explain it to him. We need the rescue jetpacks. What are you doing? Okay, the ground rotates at 60 miles an hour.
Okay.
So that's the cylinder. If we can't catch him, he'll be killed. Because basically, I mean, she did mention before this, he's essentially weightless, but the ground rotates at 60 miles per hour. So if we can't catch him, he'll be killed. And he's like, you won't have time. Well, thanks, Jakar. You gonna help? And so we see another view of it and floating down. And then she's like, Kosh, you know what is at stake. And somehow she knows if you're going to do anything, you must do it now. I've come to like this guy. Do you mind rescuing him? And so Kosh starts doing the opening up and up. Yeah, well, that's from before. We postulated that Kosh is really the Stig inside.
Oh gosh. Well, nobody notices that this is happening while Kosh is, revealing himself. Nobody
That's interesting.
notices. Yeah, there's a lot of light coming from Kosh.
Apparently, the cylinder, an anneal cylinder, which is what a station is, must be 147 meters wide. So radius of 73 meters to generate 1G at the rim at a speed of 60 miles an hour. So according to what she's just said, the whole thing's 150 meters wide. I think it's a bit bigger than that.
Yeah. Well, I guess, they had kind of like the concepts, but they...
Yeah. I mean, maybe they didn't do the maths for it. Maybe they just...
Well, maybe is there something else involved in that calculation?
Oh, I put in an anneal cylinder. I said, how wide must an anneal cylinder be if it rotates at 60 miles an hour to generate 1G? And Copilot's actually given me all the maths. And that's what it comes out with. The final answer is 147 meters wide. Now, when it says rim, I'm assuming that the rim is the inside, not the outside, because that's where the gravity is. But apparently that's what the math says.
Ardent Party, how fast is Kosh in the affordable car? Awesome.
Oh, well, look at that. Superman. Yeah, it's more than 147 meters radius. or even diameter. I guess it's diameter, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah. It's more than that, but I don't know. It looks cool. That's the whole idea. But yeah, the jetpack people aren't going to get there in time. We'll get there in 2 minutes. You've got 30 seconds. Well, we can't do that. Well, get those jetpacks on.
My name's not Scotty. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Well, she sees the light. I don't think anyone else noticed the light, but it's all happening faster than we're talking about it. And then Lanier's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's, what is it? Valeria. Valeria. So Valeria is a Mimbari angelic being, shall we say. No, it's Drushala.
Droshala.
And next week we're going to find out more about, 2 weeks from now, we're going to find out more about Droshala.
Yes.
And then we get to see,
Wow.
Is that Droshala? Yeah.
That's Droshala.
Droshala was really Kosh. And then
Oh, that's
Jilan.
interesting.
Jilan was also really Kosh. And then, we'll find out later what he saw. But Sheridan's still floating down, hanging on hanging next to a blue screen. And then he sees, who's this? What do you think? It's Michael or Gabriel? Do you think Kosh was Michael? Or
No,
Gabriel?
Ardent Party has a good point here.
What?
He says, if the Vorlons appear like each race's angels, why didn't Kosh's real form look human?
Well, it does.
Like to Sheridan. I mean, if you look at Kosh, he doesn't
he looks androgynous.
Well,
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't
he still
look,
looks like human-like.
but he doesn't exactly look human either in his human form. He looks. They made him look alien, even as a human.
I'll tell you what I noticed is that, but they put some thought into it actually, because if it looks like an angel, what are angels?
Yeah, they're supposed to look more like idealized humans.
Yeah, specifically, what is one difference between angels and humans?
Well, angels.
Angels are celestial beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do angels breed?
No.
Right. Or more to the point, how are angels created?
Well,
Do angels have mammalian features?
no, they don't.
Because I noticed that he's flat. He's quite literally flat chested.
Yeah, he's supposed to look more our vision of aliens. Remember, at the end they say, Sheridan says, "Well, we were altered to view them in ways that would be advantageous to them." So, in other words, they're supposed to look like celestial beings to us, and I think this looks like a celestial being.
I
haven't seen many.
I'm wondering. I can't remember if that's actually Ardwright Chamberlain. There, if that's actually out to the place Kosh.
I don't know.
Can't remember checking out.
Well, in any case, take Sheridan by the hand. Ocean man, take me by the hand.
Does he put his left leg in and his left leg out?
It does not mean a thing. Yes.
Okay. According to Copilot again, quoting the Babylon 5 tech manual, Babylon's space station is 840 meters wide.
Okay.
I think it looks a little bit more than that from there as well. But
Well, you could put it in co-pilot that way. A cylinder, 840
yeah.
meters diameter, rotating at 60 miles per hour. How much gravity would that generate?
Hold on, put it on around.
Now, we're assuming that co-pilot is going to be somewhat correct.
Well, as I said, I mean, the next one down is actually has got the same figures from the Babylon 5 technical manual. So one can sort of take that, I think, as a reasonably good.
But yeah, man, I didn't know angels were that big.
Well, how many angels can dance on the head of a pin? Who knows? We don't know how big they are.
Well, looking pretty big there. That's more than basketball height.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ardent Party. I appreciate getting your recipe for pecan pie without the use of corn syrup. Nice.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we avoid that stuff.
We do avoid that.
And there we go. That's the background for this episode. Look at that. I don't know what that is. But it does give you the impression that the station is really big.
I mean, yeah. It's, I mean, but with all of that terrain, they couldn't make farms?
You mean 5 miles of this? I think they did. They do have like hydroponics and stuff like that. And especially it's a cylinder, so this isn't just 5 miles of flat ground. It's like going all the way around the cylinder, so that's a lot of surface area.
Yeah, and Ivanova doesn't have a place to grow her coffee? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, maybe not every individual could have a lot of land.
Yeah, but she's second in command of the station. They could give her like a little allotment.
Well, they were upset with her over 7 square feet.
Grow whatever
That's an
you
interesting
want.
question.
Yeah.
I think he's thinking to himself.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm.
So
no. It's I'm putting him, but it's just gonna be an old.
I see that Babylon 5 is fond of palm trees, so I'm guessing they artificially create a tropical climate, subtropical climate there. She could grow coffee.
Apparently, if this. No, not sorry.
I'm not on X Ardent Party, but you can email me. I'll give you my email.
Damn it, silly boy.
all right, I'm not sure what you're doing now, Colin.
I'm trying to get the right spin. Right. Okay. In order to create 1G, an 840 meter wide O'Neill cylinder would have to rotate at 64.2 meters a second or 231 kilometers per hour.
Oh, wow.
And I can't remember.
Faster than 60 miles.
Yeah.
Well, in any rate, as long as you have Kosh, it doesn't matter how fast.
I've done 43, so just over twice the speed, she said. So 60 miles an hour will be presumably producing approximately 0.5 G. At least the tangent was relevant this time.
Oh, I missed a clip further back. But now that we're at the end of this, it's almost like seems anti. Well, in Valeria's name, we're all good. And that's the end of that set of
I
slides.
thought so. Well, yeah, I mean, presumably that Valeria must be older than Valen, otherwise, because
Well,
they know.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does. There's a thing in there and a comment that they make later on that makes me wonder. I was thinking they mention later on that Kosh is that Kosh has to rest for a while because being seen by so many people put a strain on him, which suggests to me that it was that if it was strain, he must have been doing something. So it was an active camouflage in effect.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So, well, quite possibly a subconscious one that he wasn't controlling it, but he was putting out into everybody's minds there what they expected to see, perhaps.
Yeah, so it wasn't so much that they programmed humans or other aliens. It's, remember, they're the source of telepathy throughout the galaxy. So
Yeah.
he must have been telepathically transmitting.
Yeah.
You know, while
well, he does say
yeah.
here, like Sheridan's about to have a conversation with Delenn, and he does say here they altered us to view them in a positive way. But yeah, I guess at the same time it was probably somewhat telepathic because
Yeah, I'm just the fact that being seen by so many people causes him to need to rest, takes it out of him. That implies that there is something active on his behalf.
Right. Exactly. So maybe it was a mixture of both. Maybe
like Merlin, he needed rest after what he did for Uther.
Well, we all know Kosh is Merlin. Come on.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't find that clip anymore. I don't know what happened to it, so I have to make it again.
You lost one of my favorite.
Well,
clips.
I can extract it from the episode again. Yeah, the not Merlin clip I can't find.
Take your leeches elsewhere.
Well, that one I have. But let me see. Where is that? That's like right here.
I'm in no need of a doctor, so take your leeches elsewhere.
I love that episode.
At least he appears to be wearing a real chain, a real male.
So that's Michael York being upset. Here's, what's his name? Dennis Quaid being upset.
Shut up!
Wait, are you saying that the armor worn on Babylon 5 is more accurate than Dragonheart and all these medieval movies?
It looked it from that clip, yes.
Wait, go back to the clip, Lawrence.
Okay.
I'm in no need of a doctor, so take your leeches elsewhere.
That male looks a lot more real.
Well, the chainmail, yeah.
Yeah.
And what was he wearing on top of it? It looked like leather panels, a cloak.
Oh, okay. I think he was wearing a cloak over the top overall. But it looked like he was wearing a chain coif off his head, and it looked like he was wearing chain under whatever else he was wearing as well.
Another reason why we love Babylon 5. They respect historic accuracy of medieval armor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I don't know what's with my alphabetical order.
I like Christopher Nolan, but
yeah.
Oh, sorry, my cat's rolling around on my keyboard.
Here we have oranges. The show likes to remind us of oranges. Sheridan likes them. He's got a whole bowl full. Yeah, Delenn wanted to see how he's doing. Doing all right. The whole station's talking about it. It's definitely the next day water cooler talk. Yeah, every race saw something different, but still somewhat the same. Well, they're all humanoids, so they're going to have some sort of angelic humanoid beings.
I mean, I would think if you think about it, I would think actually it was probably a lot of people, not just in the garden. I mean, an explosion there's an explosion almost right in the middle of the station, we've seen from nearly anywhere.
Mm-hmm. But it was Kosh, wasn't it? Yes. Mm-hmm. That's what he meant before about, he would be recognized by everyone if he came out of his encounter suit. For millions of years, the Vorlons have visited other worlds. And what does she say here? Yeah, guided them. And, well, right now they're not guiding us too much.
Well, yeah, but don't forget at the moment she still has rosy tinted glasses on regarding the Vorlons.
Manipulated.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he's like manipulated us, so he's like programmed us so that we view them. We would react the right way. Yeah, basically see them as deities or close to it, more than regular organic matter, but they are more than regular organic matter. They don't just look like beings of light. I think they kind of are, aren't they?
Yeah, the implication that they're at least partially energy beings, yes.
Yeah. It is, as you say, a matter of perspective. Must be nice to be an energy being. He has revealed himself.
Well, if you wait a million...
If you wait a million years, what? Yeah, hopefully I'll be a Jason Ironheart.
I said you saw the episode, You saw the episode, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Finally. A million years, you too can become a being of light.
Well, now that brings up the other thing. That brings up the other thing, the shadows. The shadows now know that the Vorlons are going to be, did this. And, Sheridan asks her, do you think that the Vorlons are going to get involved? And she's like, I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the...
But as long as the shadows believe that, the rest of us don't know much of what's going on, then we should be all right.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Let's hope nobody finds out about them until... And that's when Ivanova reports, uh-oh. Zeta Squad just got back. And Warren Keffer is missing. And they're like, oh. Of course, it's like, that's not enough information to know. Well, I guess he kind of knew that this Keffer was like investigating this shadow phenomena. And they're like, uh-oh. Not good. Yeah. Not good at all. But anyway, people are having a good time talking about what they saw. What is it? The Drazi think that everybody should see what they see, though. It was really Drushala.
I'm interested though. I would have thought no, Jaquan was a prophet, wasn't he? He wasn't a god. So no, it wouldn't have been Jaquan. I was thinking why wasn't Jaquan, but of course Jaquan was a Narn. Was a Narn prophet, yeah, rather than God. Yeah.
No, it wasn't Jalan. It was Drushala. But the Narn's still happy because it's a sign. It's a sign that things are going to get better. Well, you hope. What did you see, Mr. Malari? And that's where he responds, and I had to get this in a clip because it's similar to some other things he says.
Nothing. I saw nothing. I swear to you, it does not mean a thing.
Which does lead to some very interesting questions. Presumably, he did actually see Sheridan float down to the earth, down to ground.
Yeah.
But does that mean that the Vorlons never interfered with the Centauri?
But the Centauri have telepaths.
Yes, I think.
Or does it mean that because he's touched by the shadows, he
Yes.
can't? I wonder if that's what it meant.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think if you,
With implication.
yeah, I guess if you make deals with the shadows, you can't interact with the Vorlons in certain ways. I get it.
So
It's implied somewhere. I forgot.
Does that mean then that at a certain point, Mr. Morden doesn't see Kosh?
Well,
He doesn't see the actual Kosh. I mean, obviously, he can see the encounter suit.
he can see the encounter suit, but I guess
I don't know if it's deal making. Maybe it's just the shadows themselves, their proximity.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is because he's now touched by the shadows? Is that why he can't? That's what I think would be the implication, assuming that other Centauri, there were other Centauri there. I think we saw them. So, the suggestion would be,
well, it looks like I don't know if there were other Centauri in that garden. He seemed to be the only one.
It would have been interesting, perhaps, if they'd had other Centauri there, and we found out what the Centauri Vorlon is, and then Malari had said he saw nothing. I think that perhaps would have been a bigger contrast.
That would have made then they couldn't, if they did that, the Drazi and the Narn in the next episode couldn't have said, oh well, this station is blessed,
Well, no, they could do. But what I'm saying is that one of two things has happened there. Either, despite what we've just been told, the Vorlons never interfered with or guided or conditioned the Centauri, in which case surely he would have seen something just not whatever he was expected to see, or more likely, because he is connected to the shadows, that's why he can't see the Vorlon.
Oh,
now, had
go ahead.
had they actually had I don't know, maybe JMS wanted to leave it unexplained, but had they had a Centauri, say, I suppose it wouldn't necessarily fit the way the comments were going. Had they also had a Centauri, say, who it was that a Centauri saw, the Centauri version of Droshala, Valaria, etc.
It would have been nice to see Veer in the garden and see what he. But here's the thing, Colin. We've seen in other episodes that a lot of the Centauri population, although they haven't been directly touched by the shadows like Malari has, they are definitely go take over other planets, and so they have a kind of evil mindset. They've accepted their role.
The
in
emperor,
this thing.
the previous emperor, wasn't that way.
No, but we see that once the government policy towards Narn changes, that the people themselves start cheering it on, like the fight at the bar.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
but the people and the the bully, the Centauri bullies who harassed the Narn on the station. So at least a segment of the Centauri population, although not directly
Yeah, I
touched
would
by the
say a
shadows.
segment. I think it's implied that it's like, it's just some people are like that, and so some of the Centauri are like that, but I don't think it means that all of them are, because otherwise Veer couldn't happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Gav. That's one interpretation would be that despite what Delena just said, the Warlords never visited Centauri.
But the thing is, the Centauri have telepaths, so the Vorlons would have had to have visited them at some point. And Veer later in season 5 does talk about angelic spirits. And Malari never grew up on stories about those spirits, but Veer grew up on stories about those spirits. So maybe had Veer been in the garden, he would have seen something.
I don't think that the Vorlons are the only ones that make telepaths. I think the shadows do too.
The shadows don't.
No, the shadows don't like telepaths.
No, they use telepaths in their vessels. That's why
yes,
they had
but
people piloting their vessels.
Yes, but they basically did what Melkor does in the Silmarillion. They take someone else's creation and corrupts it, because they can't create new type of beings, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not quite, I can't remember exactly how they do it, but it's definitely stated in the first of the Cycle trilogy books, and it's at least referred to reasonably directly, if you remember, in season 5, that the Vorlons created the telepaths on Earth. Now, I don't know. I would, because they bred them, so I would suspect, my suspicion would be that there's a very, very weak telepath gene, and the Vorlons entered a breeding program. JMS has JMS obviously read the Lensman trilogy. She's already admitted that, which reinforced, and they perhaps genetically manipulated to enhance the gene. Because if you think with the Narn had telepaths, as we know, they're wiped out.
They were wiped out during the war with Jaquan. Yeah, during the last Shadow War. Yeah.
Yeah, and as Jakar puts it, the gene has never been strong enough to breed through, which is why he wants to mix DNA with Lita. However, so the Narns, the Narns have a potential for telepath, but it's never been strong enough to express itself. Yeah.
Didn't they have
the shadows obviously wiped out the telepath.
They did have telepaths, and Jaquan was the leader of those telepaths. So the Vorlons did visit Narn. They were responsible for their telepaths. The thing is, the shadows wiped them out in the last Shadow War.
But I don't know. I mean, it's a long time since I read them, and I don't think it was directly referred to in season 5 with Byron. But I think the implication was that they bred the telepaths. I don't know. But my memory, my question, it might just be my prejudice or thought process, is that if Vorlons aren't magic, they can manipulate, but they can't create something that wasn't there. So either maybe some sort of Vorlon DNA equivalent entered each of the races to create the telepaths, or the gene is there in the first place, and what the Vorlons do is enhance it and manipulate it genetically. But it's certainly stated that they created human telepaths. Whether they actually created the other ones, I don't know if it's ever actually stated. Certainly heavily implied.
heavily implied. See, all of this would have been something interesting to pursue in a follow-up series, especially, in a series dedicated to the telepath war.
Yeah.
And what we got was Crusade.
Well, as I said, I mean, I think Peter David wrote the Cycle trilogy, and the first one very definitely deals with the how the cycle comes about, and it gives an insight into Bester as well, and where Bester came from, let us say. Yeah, the thing is, Gavin, the Narns don't have telepaths now, but they did have telepaths.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, even if that, it doesn't the two aren't necessarily linked. I mean, yeah, I suppose you could say that if a race has telepaths, they've been visited by the Vorlons.
Well, we saw in the garden that... Go ahead.
I said, but we don't know but as far as I'm aware, I can't remember if we ever find out if the Drazi have telepaths. So is it that it's not necessarily that it may well be that a race having telepaths is a sign they've been visited by the Vorlons, but not having telepaths doesn't mean they haven't been visited, if that makes sense. The Vorlons might have visited and for some reason didn't make telepaths.
But we don't have any example of races that don't have, not that we know of, that don't and never had telepaths.
As I said, as far as without looking at any of the expanded material from the games or anything like that, I can't remember if the Pac-Marar or the Drazi have telepaths.
Never came up, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so that's why I said it would have been really. I know maybe JMS deliberately left it vague, but it would have been interesting if they had another Centauri there who had seen something. Would sort of make you wonder, well, why is it that Londo didn't?
Well, Londo, remember, has that whole soul thing where he has a soul that may have rejected him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when that's the angel episode I'm talking about, with when Veer tells him about, angelic souls and stuff.
Yeah.
And but we know that the Narn have been visited by the Vorlons in the past because Jakar saw Jilan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also as we come later on,
yes,
we see when Garibaldi disrespects the Book of Jaquan. Garibaldi's the one that discovers it.
Yep.
And including, I do like these bits. I like the voiceovers at the end there as well. I think. Yeah.
Lawrence, do you have the clip of Garibaldi thumping the Book of Jaquan?
No, I didn't get that.
Oh.
Well, we didn't get there to that episode.
But
yet.
it's such a wonderful clip. We should always have that clip ready. Do not thump the Book of Jaquan. It's disrespectful.
The thing is with that is, depending on how much clip you show, it's a shortish clip, but it does actually have quite a major reveal in that scene. So.
Well, all I need is just the response to it from Jakar, really. Do not thump the Book of Jaquan.
Do not thump the Book of Jaquan. It's disrespectful.
Well, look at this. This is Ivanova's voiceover concluding the season. And we see there that Zach comes by and sees what he contributed to.
Right.
Although
shouldn't he report that
anyway.
to Garibaldi? It's like, what are you doing arresting people?
Yeah, wouldn't Garibaldi have to have something to say about it?
He would.
But they're Garibaldi's people doing the arresting. They're their security doing the arrest.
Well, they're
but they're doing it for someone
Nightwatch.
else,
Yeah,
not
for
him.
someone else, not for Garibaldi.
Yeah, but they're still yeah. I don't. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, they may work for Garibaldi, but they're also working for Nightwatch. So their second employer is one that ordered that. Closed.
And
By
wouldn't
order
the
of
wouldn't the
Ministry
ombuds on the station have something to say about this?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's the point. I mean, there's also a number of parallels in this that I'm sure are not intended to be in the least bit subtle to events that happened less than a century ago on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the allegations of sedition are pending. Meanwhile, store is closed. Now that must have been a different store. The gift shop was already closed.
How much longer does it take for them to separate from Earth? When is that?
Well, we're going to find out because that's coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, season.
Oh,
season
okay.
3.
So it is the next episode.
Yeah. Well,
No, it's not the next episode. It's about halfway through season 3. I think.
Yeah, it still takes a little while, but it basically it becomes more evident that they know they're dealing with a really widespread thing with Earth, and but already, like, beginning in the next episode, they're already having to kind of like go around Earth and like do some things. They've already been quiet about some things. They just didn't know how widespread.
Yeah,
it was.
how widespread things were.
Lawrence, could you go back a couple of slides to the one where with Londo talking to the there you go. Why is no one put in chat the obvious?
Is that a Vickery there? Yeah,
They warned you.
there.
Everyone warned. Sheridan warned them. Sheridan warned them that this was going to happen.
Well,
and it did.
Jakar did. Jakar could have said,
Jakar warned
"I
them.
warned you."
Yes, I warned you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there she is lighting the menorah.
Yep.
Oh man. I'm trying to read this here quickly just to see.
We came to this. We came to this place because Babylon 5 was our last best hope for peace. By the end of 2259, we knew that it had failed. But in so doing, it became something greater.
Yes.
As the war expanded, it became our last best hope for victory.
Cue the music.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that becomes an opening line in the next.
I was going to say, yeah, because Ivana does the opening line for the next series, if I remember right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta watch the next episode.
Because sometimes peace is another word for surrender.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And because secrets have a way of getting out.
Of getting out. And then cue the shadow vessel.
Yep.
And we don't need to do the ISN report, but it's obviously an ISN report that they broadcast one time and then Earth took it off the air.
Yep.
They didn't know at that time, but the government was actually helping the cause.
Now, see, I have a slight point here. Is that was Keffer's ship broadcasting to the recorder even after they dumped the recorder?
No, he dumped the recorder.
He dumped the recorder, but he dumps the recorder before he's attacked and destroyed.
Yep.
All right. So how come the last shot is him being destroyed?
Maybe it was
that's right. The last shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe he was dumping. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe he dumped it, but he was broadcasting even after it was dumped.
Oh yeah, probably, or at least that's what we'll say.
Yeah. Actually, this where I thought there was another scene, but that scene obviously must be at the start of the next episode, where they're they record a better wife than we do, where they're discussing this event. But I think that must be the beginning of season 3.
Yeah, there's a guy that comes to investigate what this vessel and what do people know about it. And at the same time, in the next episode, beginning of season 3, we get a new British guy that comes aboard, and he needs his friends to be rescued.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
But
I thought
that's at the same time that this guy Endowie is investigating.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Endowie. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Mr. Endowie, who's the actor played in other things, though. I recognize.
He's always an official in Star Trek. I do remember that. Some type of Starfleet official. He always plays one.
Well, the thing is, I got the impression, and obviously we'll talk about it more when you see the episode. I got the impression that he was actually kind of not one of the bad guys. Unlike how
Endowie didn't seem like he was.
Endowie seemed like he was
doing his job. He needed to find out what people have heard of this vessel, if they've seen it before, and that's all he did.
Yeah, because it's at the end of that they have that meeting back on Earth time. So yeah,
and he wasn't there for it.
Yeah,
he left the office.
Yeah.
And then that's where the senator and a special guest appearance happens. But that's when the audience knows, oh, no, that's why they aligned with the Centauri. So is there anything more to report before we call it a night? Yes, I guess Ardent Party wasn't here with us when we announced this, but we had a vote, and it looks like everyone wants us next time to... we'll talk a little Bab 5 because we're going to have some time that we have to wait for our puddings to hopefully rise.
It takes just 15 minutes for our Yorkshire puds to puff themselves up and turn a delicious golden brown.
That should only be 15 minutes, according to Gordon Ramsay.
Well,
he's not using a wood fire there, though.
Yeah, he's not using a wood-burning stove, and he's not a novice chef.
No.
So, this is going to be interesting, and it's not just the pudding, it's the gravy. I have to figure out both things.
Well, do we have to make the gravy? Like, do we actually have to do a roast, too?
Look...
maybe we could do the roast off before the stream and just film that, and then
again, remember, a roast? I don't think I've ever made a roast, ever. I don't know how to roast anything.
Or maybe I should take my laptop and we do this at your parents' next week.
You know what?
Because they have an oven.
If you wanted to come out
outside
edible,
broadcast.
I mean, I don't know. We should invite my mom over. If you want the end product to be edible, but if you want to take a risk, I could definitely give it a go.
Well, we're gonna do it either way.
Oh yes, but
how are we gonna do it?
Next week's episode, guest starring Liza's mum.
Yes.
That might actually help.
She has a YouTube channel, you know.
Wow.
She
but
does.
She's not active right now with
not
it. She
right
needs
now.
to be, though.
Yes,
she makes wine and she makes all sorts of things.
She makes everything.
They should just be filming everything they do.
They should, and they she'd get monetized faster than I I mean,
Then a pudding can rise.
Then a pudding can rise, because she's always making something, always fermenting something, always cooking something, always building something. I mean, one of these days I am gonna do off-grid CBG stream over on her homestead, and you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Flav. But the problem is, no disrespect to Liza, but she's no Linda. But Liza's no Linda Bellingham.
No, I'm assuming that's a cook
Um,
or a famous chef.
Actually, no, she's an actress,
Oh,
but she starred in the Oxo Cube adverts.
Oxocube? What's
Yeah.
that?
You would call them it's a cube. It's a cube that you unwrap, you crumble into powder. Stock cubes, I think you would call them.
Bouillon cubes.
Yeah,
is what we call them.
But basically it's a cube. About
It's like a
half an inch, but
It's like a broth cube.
yeah, basically, it usually comes in wrap. It comes wrapped, and you unwrap
But
it, and
that
you just
would be
crumble it up a bit and
Wouldn't it?
put it in with boiling water.
Like a pudding.
Yeah.
I remember trying to make chicken gravy for last Thanksgiving, and it was lumpy, tasteless, and it was nasty. It was bad.
What you could do with them, I used to do some sort. You do gravy and oxide, and you could also sort of put other things in with it, like garlic or something, or herbs, or whatever in it with it, sort of to make more in the gravy.
Mm.
Although I ran out of both my ordinary gravy and my chicken gravy granules a while ago and haven't bought any more recently.
Mm. Yeah, granules.
Mm.
I guess we could do that because making another roast, that could get pretty expensive.
He's laughing, Gavin, because he knows it's true. I mean, he didn't say anything, but I knew. I mean, come on, when it's disgusting. Yeah, the gravy that I made for Thanksgiving last year.
I didn't laugh. I'm trying to think.
Gavin says you just
remember
laughed right now.
I don't remember Thanksgiving.
Well, this year, my parents moved into our quote unquote town.
Mm-hmm.
And so this Thanksgiving is going to be serious.
Mm-hmm.
This Christmas is going to be serious. Of course, I will help in any way I can, but it probably won't be with the cooking. Maybe with other preparations, but definitely not with the cooking, unless it's salad or fermentations. I'm good at that. I can make mead and I can mix drinks and stuff, but I make probiotic drinks, people.
October. This year, Halloween is on a Saturday. We might do a surprise stream for Halloween.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah.
And like every year, Thanksgiving's on a Thursday.
Again, but you know what? You know that my mom's favorite holiday is Halloween.
Yep.
We should stream
she
they're doing.
does the whole house. She makes it
She
a haunted
does.
house. The whole
Oh
house
my
becomes a
God.
haunted house. That would be an interesting stream.
That would be an interesting
And this year,
stream.
Christmas is on a Friday. That means Brown will be doing the Christmas Eve stream on a Thursday.
How do you know?
Because he always does Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve is is a Cuban thing. We're probably going to be busy on Christmas Eve.
They don't just celebrate Christmas Eve in Cuba.
Well, no, that's not what I mean. It's like, you know, at least what's typical in most of this country, people celebrate, you know, get together on Christmas Day. We Cubans and Puerto Ricans get together on Christmas Eve. That's when the big
Brown
party
Alliance
happens.
gets together on Christmas Eve too.
Okay. Do they? I mean, what does Mr. Brown cook?
You were there a couple of years now. He doesn't cook
I'll put a link.
damn thing. He just streams, and they complain about movies.
Well,
I'll put a link
or
in chat.
or vote for their
compilation of
favorite
how that
Christmas
works.
movies. Or people argue about Die Hard, whether it's a Christmas movie or not. You know,
well, maybe Mr. Brown would like to stream snipe us on Christmas
although
Eve and
usually
check in on what we're doing.
Geek still does his Christmas Eve mass, and then he comes back after the mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, it's like a family. Everyone gets together, but they do their own thing too. We'll probably be watching while we're at your parents' house. Maybe we'll even stream from there. We got to do more shit.
We should stream. We should stream from Christmas Eve. You guys can see
we
the.
got to work
the big,
around Brown. I don't like to overlap them. Maybe just a little bit, but not. I mean, he stays until it turns Christmas Day, and then.
Oh.
Then he winds down.
Yeah, we might not be able to. Yeah, we don't want to steal anyone's thunder, but
Well, we wouldn't. Everyone would be at Brown's. We'd just be streaming by ourselves.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, from usually, I mean, depending on how long Brown wants to stay, but if he just stays until it turns into Christmas or into New Year, then your streams usually start after midnight our time anyway.
Yeah.
well,
so,
you know how we are. Well, at least when the family was younger, I mean, our Christmas Eve parties would go late into the night.
Oh, yeah.
People would be dancing until 4 a.m., eating,
Yeah.
you
I'm
know,
just saying, I mean,
having
if-
mojitos and other things, and playing music. My cousin Ozzy and I, we would play music. We would do karaoke late into the evening, and then, you know, people get older, and we haven't had a really good Christmas Eve party in a long time. Maybe we'll have one this year. I don't know.
I don't know, but I'll be tuning in to Brown in any event at the same time, and we'll see what happens. We might do a stream after. We'll see. Got to play it by ear. All right, I think we're done for tonight, right?
I do believe that's about it.
Any other items of business to discuss?
You guys are making me hungry. I don't have anything to make
happens
fish and
every-
chips.
Oh, dear, yeah. No, we don't.
Gavin.
It does taste
Yeah, it does taste
good.
good.
Fish and chips. Yeah, that's one thing, Brown says he does.
A late appearance by Stitch.
Hello,
Oh, Stitch the Elder. Yes. He uses beef tallow for almost everything. I have heard good things about beef tallow, never cooked with it.
Now I'm going to be that guy. What is tallow?
I think it's beef fat, right? Am I correct,
I think
Stitch
so, yeah,
the
I think
Elder?
Wolf. Is there a difference between beef fat and lard?
Well, lard is pig fat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's something I did not know.
So lard's not kosher, right? Then
Oh, no.
I did read that apparently you up until the arrival of non-stick pans, what people used to do is they just used to never actually completely clean their frying pan. So you always had a layer of dried fat or grease in it, which effectively made it non-stick.
Yeah, I think with what do you call those cast iron pans still work that way, and I have one. I haven't maintained it though very well because you're supposed
for a
to
while
keep it greased.
You did keep it.
It's yeah, I haven't used it in a while, so I don't know what condition it's in currently. But we will probably need it if we're cooking outside next week. I don't know.
I would look up into your lifeless eyes and wave like this. Can you and your associates arrange that for me, Mr. Morton?
I don't know why I played that at all.
That's another one. I was always wondering.
Just looking at these clips here, and I just clicked it. I don't know why.
I always wanted to think, okay, great, but how did Londo know? But did Londo know that's what he wanted to do, or is it a standard thing within the Narn to cut people and put them up? I mean, we used to do that.
No, that's a good point. And I'm sorry, Liza, I didn't mean to cut off your point about the cast iron pan. If you were making one, I hit that accidentally. Well, not accidentally. I thought it was, I don't know why I did it, but I did. And, but that brings up a good point. How did Londo know?
Well, I'm thinking about that, but I've always wondered that. Then I thought about it recently and I thought, but it makes sense if, why would Via say that in the first place if it wasn't a thing within the Centauri?
Yeah, it might be a.
So, as I said, I mean,
punishment.
Yeah, I mean, historically, we used to do that. You used to trader's head to be cut off, trader's head to be put on a spike on London Bridge. So it's, so it would make sense. Either he picked that idea up out of nowhere, or it's something that they did anyway.
Well, maybe after, what is it, the evisceration, because that's something else they do there. And then maybe they just take the head afterwards and, put it up on a pike.
Yeah. But I mean, again, if...
Like a pudding.
Like a pudding. And again, if you think about it, there's another bit later on where Londo wants to make sure that a particular person's head is left recognizable.
Oh, and Chikara, made sure that happened. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point there. Well, on that note, I think we're calling it a night. And I'm sorry, Liza, you got quiet after I played that clip.
Wait, I'm just perplexed. Why that particular clip during this conversation about food?
That's why I was perplexed too.
Yeah.
And I said that. I don't know. I'm just looking at clips here because I'm just like looking at them while some of them
you
are
need
missing.
To color code your clips because you can't tell. You don't know what you got.
Well, I can't in StreamYard. They're just here. I see a frame. And I'm missing the not Merlin one. I don't know what happened to it.
One of the best clips of all Babylon 5, and you don't have it. Embarrassing.
Oh, come on. The best clips of Babylon 5 is going to be a very, very, very large file.
Really?
A very, very large... Oh.
Yeah.
Very, very large file. Large folder there.
It would be a large file, yes. Well, you still have the Jakar, the big thump clip, right?
Oh, there. I mean, I have them all. I could extract them again if I have to, but...
Mr. Garibaldi is always put out.
Well, that's not the right one, but I have that one too.
That's me on Noche Buena. Yes, we're going to make coquitos. We're going to make margaritas. My brother will probably mix some old fashions because that's his thing now.
Yeah, I want to enjoy this fall. We gotta
Yes.
make sure the house is clean and
Yes.
just enjoy it. I want to play some
Decorate.
medieval
Yeah.
gaming and stuff like that.
Coquitos?
So,
I thought I have given you the secret of coquitos at some point, Ardent Party. What's a coquito? Okay, I will explain. You
Like
need
a pudding.
not like a pudding at all. No. You get evaporated milk, condensed milk. I like the organic coconut cream that is not sweetened. You don't need more sugar. And then you put in some cinnamon. Get that into a bottle, all of that stuff, including the rum. Shake it, put it in the refrigerator, and then serve it on Nochebuena. That is the very Puerto Rican Christmas drink. It's delicious. I love it. But I must also make margaritas that night, and also make I lost the name of the one with mint and sugar cane juice and rum. What is it? I lost the name.
Not coquito.
Mojitos, coquitos, and margaritas. Yes.
am I right in thinking that the ito suffix suggests small, baby, or a small version of?
Small
Both
or few.
condensed and evaporated Ardent Party. At least my recipe works better when you put in both. For the evaporated milk for texture, to help with the texture. It's a Latino eggnog. Yes, kind of. It has that texture. Yeah.
Yes, we were having them the first time we tuned into a brown New Christmas Eve.
Yes, we were having coquitos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably was getting blasted on Bailey's.
Oh, that wasn't Swappers? Okay, I got them mixed up.
That was probably
That's probably the Bailey's, man.
Okay. You made a lot of mojitos when you were bartending. Yes. When is the party again? Oh, Flav. Wouldn't that be interesting having you guys over for Nochebuena and for New Year's? Oh my God, that would
well,
be
we can
Nochebuena.
virtually. We'll just follow Brown
yes.
because Brown does those.
Just someone invent a teleporter. What's not Chihuahua?
Oh,
That's Christmas Eve.
Christmas
Oh,
Eve.
right. Okay.
It's the
It
good
means
night.
good night. The direct translation is that.
Yeah.
Good night.
Oh, not Chibuena. Oh, right, gotcha.
It's a good night for food. And I found some gandules in my freezer. My mom already has her Christmas.
You really should clean your freezer out that much, then.
No, gandules are a type of bean.
It's a bean.
It's like lentils. Basically.
It's sort of like lentils. It's like if you take black beans and lentils and mash them together, those are the Cuban gandules. And so my mom makes something called potaje with that, and you eat that with the big roasted pork made in something we call in something we call an oven. We call it cajachina. And there's no better way to make a whole pig and to get crispy skin and juicy meat. Yes. Ooh, horchata is good too. I would imagine it's great with rum. I've never tried it with rum,
We
Stitch.
only just had it as a. So,
You know, horchata is a lot like a coquito. Potluck. I mean, one of these days we shall meet and have a potluck. How about that? It's gonna happen. Ardent Party. And he'll bring the pecan pies and blood pudding. Yeah.
Any more items of business to discuss?
I'm so hungry. These guys, man, they're horrible.
Well, it's late here. Imagine these guys. But yeah, we're going to be eating close
barbecue.
to midnight.
Oh my God. Stitch,
don't know
why
what
did
time.
you mention barbecue? Oh.
Why did you say that name?
Oh, the mulled wine.
Bobby!
I love
What's
mulled
that name?
wine. Oh gosh.
What about Proby?
No, I think he was shaking his finger at Gavin.
Oh, what name did Gavin mention?
We're all gonna gain weight this holiday season. That's all right. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are horrible. I come on to earworms, and you guys are talking about food that I can't have right now. It's horrible.
So we were the one that started talking about Yorkshire puddings.
Yes. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. We have the same problem, Arden Party. There's nowhere to go to buy junk food right now. Otherwise, we'd be tempted to go.
no.
Picana. That sounds good, whatever it is, Stitch.
Picana. Sounds like pecan. Oh,
Am I
pecan.
fasting? No. Anyways, guys, Lawrence, I'm gonna let you end the stream now because
Okay.
these guys keep talking about food. I'm gonna get. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not that hungry, but I just need to eat a little bit of something.
I'm so hungry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, folks,
Ooh, pizza
thank you
and
for joining us for
espresso.
Babylon 5 and everything else. Let's see. Next week, yeah, we're going to try to do some Yorkshire pudding somehow.
Somehow, it's gonna be magic if it turns up good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just trying to think how we're going to do other things while we're... Well, you know what? I mean, we'll manage the content. It looks like we have more fun just hanging out than me laboriously going through each scene of the Babylon 5 episode.
I mean, we could print up cards and you could show your slides that way outside. We could do the off-grid way of semi-off-grid way.
I'm not paying for printing up cards. We'll just
you can describe the slide.
Well, we're not covering an episode next week. Maybe what I'll do is I'll look up some Babylon 5 trivia and we'll just read it off, and the rule will be no getting the answers through AI or anything.
Right.
We'll have we'll do like a
Quiz.
trivia.
Well, I think what's gonna end up happening is the chat will be yelling at me because I'll be destroying the pudding somehow.
Mm.
Or the gravy, or both at the same time. I don't know. That's what's going to end up happening. It's like, no, don't do that. No.
Now you've got a week to practice.
Practice? No. We're going to get it raw. You're for the first time.
No, we need to do a little prep. We got to get the ingredients and
of
make
course,
sure we
the
have.
ingredients.
We've looked through a few different recipes and instructions, and just be sure that we know exactly what we're doing, so that at least we're not just like totally confounded.
No. Flav did send me a recipe, and I shall be studying it.
Well, do you have it somewhere accessible?
I have it. I have it on a tab here, and then I'll send it to myself on email.
Okay.
But the thing is, I'll be studying it. But I'm gonna be doing it for the first time, attempting it for the first time on the stream. There shall be no practices at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Make sure we have the ingredients and just look through it ahead of time. Make sure
Well, we
there's
would
no
have
stumbling
to.
block.
I would have to because I mean I need some type of procedure to start with, but I mean it's one thing reading about something and it's another thing, executing it, trying it, yeah, and so that's where that's when things happen,
All right, I think I'm calling it. Time of death is
That's a point.
11:17 p.m. Eastern.
No annoying doctor this week.
No annoying doctor. Oh, Franklin wasn't in it at all.
No.
Oh, well, that's why we're having such a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Franklin.
No, doctor. We're hard on Dr. Franklin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well. Well, then, I'm calling it.
And finally, here are some completely gratuitous pictures of penises to annoy the censors and to hopefully spark some sort of controversy, which it seems the only way these days to get the jaded, video-sated public off their fucking asses and back in the sodding cinema.
But thank you all for hanging out with us and spending the time.
Yes.
We enjoyed it, and so we're going to make sure we give you a good one next week, or at least
Yes.
try.
We're going to try.